Okay, I'm running that intro thing. Ooh,
Eureka.
We make plays every day, yeah. We make plays every day.
Blah, blah, blah.
We make plays every day, yeah.
Blah.
We make plays.
Blah, 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 blah.
We make plays every day, yeah. We make plays every day, yeah.
Hey, hey, hey. Okay, you know what time it is. Welcome to Playmaker as fuck. This is a momentous occasion. We have come to one of the first milestones, one of the first checkpoints. We are at the gate. It is episode 10, episode Big Ben. Woo! And I want to just, with no further delay, I want to bring in my mans. You know what I'm saying? He's a journeyman. He's an athlete. He's a journalist. He's a broadcaster. He's a one of one. He's an innovator. He's an entrepreneur. He's my friend and yours. He's the Admiral himself, founder of the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. It's my man, Robbie J.
What it do, Bogard. Cheers to me, cheers to you.
All the Rumboyz and girls, what it do?
GMM crew, let's get it. It's gonna be a lit podcast, man.
I know, right? This is like, you know what? I love it because I love it when it's showtime. You know what I mean? And we're here. It's time, B. You know what I mean?
We got a job. We're still employed. And then on top of that, with our job, we get to entertain the world, man. So I mean, you know, let's get to it. You know, make people happy. Drop some content.
And check this out. With that said, before we get to this great content, we're going to go ahead and handle some quick housekeeping. Follow us on Twitter and IG at the GMM Network. Follow me on IG at Bogard Scott Freeworld. And you can find my man Robbie J at the Rumboyz Fantasy Network on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. You know what I mean? You could also find him on Twitter at, is that same thing, Rumboyz.net?
Yeah, Rumboyz spelled with a Z, N-E-T, holla at me.
Yeah, Rumboyz spelled with a Z, N-E-T. Holler at the Admiral. You feel me? Also want to give a special shout out to our sponsor, Milk and Honey TX, for all your CBD wellness and all your CBD goodness. Hey! Okay.
Oh, yeah. And that's on everything. I'm Rumboyz spelled with a Z, N-E-T on everything. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, you name it.
Oh, yeah. All right, so check this out, my man. You know what I'm saying? Also, I just want to point out, I'm wearing an ET shirt, right? Because, you know what I'm saying? We're about to phone home. We're about to take the journey all the way back to the beginning. You know what I'm saying? We are spaced out. We are out of this world, as some would say. Or you could even just say, ain't nobody else cut from the cloth we's from. You know what I'm saying? Because we might be interstellar from somewhere else. And that's why, you know, you wear many of the hats that I named. You know what I'm saying? The entrepreneurism, the journalism, you know what I'm saying? The broadcaster isms, all the isms, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna build a timeline. We're gonna build a timeline where we take you through the journey that is known as the Robbie J story. And so you know what? Let's just get right to it. Oh yeah, real quick. Bud Light, give me money. You know what I mean?
Yo, I just rolled up this diesel over here.
Diesel, give me money. You know what I'm saying?
Shout my boy Adam, man, my grower, yo. It's so fire, man. So, you know,
I love some good sour, bro.
I'm excited, bro. I'm excited, man. Let's rock.
Okay, so now check this out, Robbie. All right. So, Robbie J, let's tell us where you were born. Let's start from there.
So I was born on an Army hospital, Fort Belvoir, in Virginia. And 91, June 14, 91 is when it all begun. You know, my mom's gave birth to a legend. My mom's and pops gave birth to a legend. Thank y'all for keeping me. And, you know, we got that popping. I'm from the D.C., Maryland, Virginia area. I lived in L.A. I traveled the world. I've lived in Italy twice, actually. I lived in Italy for like 6 years out of my life. I'm 28 now. I'll be 29 in June. But yeah, man. You know,
Yeah, he's our resident Gemini. He's our regular Tupac of the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. You feel me? Okay, so but DC. Is that some of your earliest memories? Like, do you remember when you first left DC? Because you said that's where you were born, right?
So the first time we moved was like 97, like 97, 98. We moved to Cali. No, it was like 95. We moved to Cali. Lived in LA all the way up until like 98, 99. Went back. We moved to we moved back to DC. And then from DC we moved to Maryland, shout out PG County. And then from PG County we moved to La Maddalena, Italy. From there, came back to Virginia. By that time, I'm now 12 at that point in time. My parents got divorced, and that is when the hustler was born. I mean, when my parents were together, kind of like everything was there, everything was provided. My dad was in the Navy, so I mean, everything was provided. Once my mom, became like a single mom and shit, that's when I started hustling and I started getting mine out the mud. Whether it was me playing street ball, for money, I was pretty nice with the handles, or whether it was sometimes having to do a couple things, illegal here or there, but just like to help my mom and shit. So, around 12 is when all that happened. Lived in Virginia. Let's see, fast forward all the way to when I was like 17. I ended up joining the Air Force. I was just busy getting so much trouble. It was either dead or in jail.
So were you in LA before you went to the military?
Yeah, I was. We lived in LA. During my youth years, I lived in LA all the way up until
because
7 or 8.
I know we've had some candid conversations, and I know the cliche would be that the cliche saying would be you were running with the wrong crowd, right? You know what I'm saying? Because we do know there's a lot of gang affiliations in the streets of LA. You know what I mean? And that's.
I mean, yeah, in terms of that, when I was younger, we lived around all that shit, so I mean, I was already adapted to that,
And coming from a place like DC, where it's crack is the economy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I grew up it's a fucked up environment, saw a lot of bad things, but when my parents were together, my dad did really well, keep me away from all of that. My mom did really well, keep me away from all that. It wasn't until they got divorced is when I turned towards, like you said, running with the wrong crowd.
Well, because it also is the family structure in that sense kind of, it kind of went out the window, and you know what I mean, where it's now you're going back and forth from mom and pops, and you know what I'm saying,
I was bouncing back and forth, he'd come pick us up on the weekends and shit.
Yeah. So it's definitely hard to monitor the child in that sense, you know what I mean? Because the streets be calling, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, bro. Once, like I said, around 12 years old, that's when, I started hanging in the streets. I started, hanging with, certain people, getting affiliated and shit. And I was out there, bro. I was really out there from 12 all the way up to 17, just, doing bad shit, running around being a wild boy. Went to the military, served all the way up until I was 21, 22.
Can I ask you a question? So what was the deciding factor where you were I need to get up out here. I need to get up out the mud. I'm going to go ahead and... Because, joining the military is a life move. You know what I mean? Check this out, Playmakers. When you're young and you're an adolescent and you make a life-changing decision like that, but also because when you're young, and you said you went to 21, doesn't it seem at the time it feels this is gonna be a fucking forever, but it's such a small window of time, but it affects you in a massive way for the rest of your life. This is something because it helps you with housing down the road. It helps you with health insurance. You know what I mean? It's a solid move. For I encourage all you Playmakers, if you're lost, and you're trying to figure things out, and you might not have many credentials or whatever, like, consider the military, because you'll be able to have a leg up on, like, motherfuckers that aren't doing shit in life. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Like I walk into a job interview now, and somebody, they're like, the interviewer, they'll ask, hey, do you have any military experience, Mr. Johnson? And I drop it on them, and I'm 9 times out of 10, I'm in a position to where I'm gonna beat out, this college kid with 4 years of fucking book experience, because I have the book experience as well too, because of the military too.
Hey, should we start it over so I can throw? Here he has book experience. Should I throw that in the intro?
No, man, it's all love.
I'm just fucking with you.
But no, man, fucking, the military gave me, structure. It restructured me. It reprogrammed me, and that's what they do. I'm not gonna front to any of the playmakers out there. I'm not gonna front to any of the Rumboyz that are gonna come on here and listen. Like, they reprogram you. For me, it gave me structure. Taught me, the little basics, like, to cooking, cleaning, being on your own. Just shit like that. So yeah, I served. I went back to Italy. I remember I was in basics training. I was at the end of basics training.
Oh shit! So you had already spent time.
Where do you want to go?
So you already spent time in Italy prior to the military.
Yeah, my dad was stationed on this little ass island. Y'all can Google.
Hey, bro, I know what you're talking about.
La Maddalena, Italy.
Yo, the Nigerian mafia runs that shit nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
bro,
island.
They was out there when I was in, bro. Funny story. I didn't know, I didn't know that other places in the world had hoods.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because you come from DC, where it's like one of the hoods in America, and then you go to LA, where it's like, you know what I mean, legendary hoods.
Yeah. Like I grew up, around Bloods, around Crips, so when I moved to Italy, I didn't know that, like I said, other places had hoods. So we're partying one night. We're at this club, Papillons. I actually used to work there part time while I was in the Air Force.
Oh shit! Okay. Would you like a bartender?
I'd get off and I'd go to the club and I'd work the club and I'd promote and shit. And I was a promoter.
Nice.
The fucking, we're in there. We're popping bottles. This bad little mamacita. She come on, let's go somewhere. So we head to her place. I'm so messed up that I'm like, okay, bro. I shit you not, when I wake up from, a night with this girl, there are AKs, there are niggas with AKs in the front room.
Yeah,
I'm like, what the hell?
It goes down.
I need to get back to base, bro. And I'm like an hour and a half away from base, dog. Scary.
That's nuts. Because you know what, playmakers, there is a saying, don't get caught with your pants down. And that's gotta be a frightening moment right there. You know what I mean? You wake up, you just smash some authentic Italian, monk. And then, you know what I'm saying? You wake up and we got shooters all in through the room and shit.
Dude, I was like, what? They're like, you need a job? I'm like, nah, man, I'm good. I'm about to leave. I'm heading to the train station right now.
Oh shit. Okay. We're gonna do this. Is what we're gonna do in this time while we're making this timeline. We're gonna jump back and forth, right?
Yeah. So, like a documentary.
Yes. So let's go back real quick. Let's just let's go back documentary style, right? You know what I mean? So as a child athlete. I want, because I know you are a sportscaster, you are a broadcaster, a journalist, and your field is sports. And I know you cover all sports, but I know football is your gem. So tell me how you discovered football. Was it Pop Warner? How do you remember?
My dad was real mad crazy into football. He was the classic yell at the TV.
Yeah. Oh, and he was the Cowboys fan, right?
Nowadays, you yell at the TV, your kid's gonna record you and put you on the gram.
It's happened to me.
Look at this stupid guy
It's happened.
breaking his TV. Like, but like to me that was normal, and I grew up actually liking that. I was like, yo, like,
yeah, that's
I love my dad's passion.
yeah.
You know, and my parents put me in the very first sport I ever played: Summerfield Indians, PG County, Maryland, baseball. And I was nasty, bro. I was actually one of the only nasty ones on the team. I don't know if it's the Dominican blood in me, the Jamaican
I would
blood in me.
say, I would say,
you know,
Dominicans, they knock them out the park.
I crack them, bro. Like I crack them towards like center field. So I mean, anyways, you know, so first sport was baseball. My mom was not about putting me in football. So played basketball. I mean, of course, you know, I was nice. You know, I was nice.
Oh, yeah. Was it? Let me ask you, Robbie. Was it the shoes?
Around middle school is when like sixth grade you couldn't try out, but like I was practicing with all the football players in seventh and eighth grade. And seventh grade came around, tried out, didn't make the team.
Dang. Did you feel discouraged at all?
Bro, it crushed me, especially because I was one of the faster ones out there.
Yeah.
You know, I had the raw talent. I have no idea why coach did not end up picking me. Also, I mean, I had issues with Coach Brooks, like from a school standpoint.
So
like,
were you early on kind of more rebellious against like authority in that sense? Like,
oh yeah.
Because I know you're a great coach
now because
like, I'll tell you this much.
Someone tell me what to do.
Even for Playmakers, if you guys aren't aware, you know what I'm saying? You know, I am a part of the Rumboyz Fantasy Network as well. I'm a proud member.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? This is my boss. You know what I mean? I know he's modest, but yes, he is my boss. I am an employee or you could even say I'm a player on the squad and he's the coach.
Yeah.
And like I wouldn't.
I like that better. I don't like, and I just want to drop this gem really quick, you know, because a big thing with me is like leadership, you know, and leading first, you know, leading ahead. I can't be a boss because a boss just sits back and tells someone what to do. You know, hey, you go write that article. You know, me, I'm gonna sit down and I talk, you know, with my writers, you know, and I sit down and I talk with you, you know, hey, you know, these are the things, you know, I want you to do. You know, business is how we can make your brand grow. This is how, you know, we can make my brand grow, you know, simultaneously. So I mean, a boss, I just feel like it's someone that is in corporate America telling people what to do. Yeah. Whereas like a leader is. They're actually helping you, and they're in the trenches with you. I'm in the trenches with all of you guys. There's not a single thing that you guys are going to go through in this industry that I haven't already gone through, or I'm not going to go through. You know, so
yeah. No,
yeah.
I like the coach title. You know what I'm saying? We got to get you a whistle, just you know what I'm saying? Just Coach Robbie J. You feel me? Like no, because you know I asked you if you were rebellious because like. Maybe that was the natural leadership you had in you. Like, you know, look, coach, you know what I mean? You I don't want any special treatment, but I am a leader. You know what I mean? And sometimes coaches shouldn't be coaches, right? Like, and maybe in this case, as a coach, he didn't recognize that in you as a young tyke. You know what I mean?
No, because 8th grade rolled around. I try out the next year, you know, and the reason why I didn't make the team. So me and my brother Ricky, my mom started dating my
shout
stepdad.
Out to Ricky.
You know, they moved in, so you know, now all of a sudden it's like the fucking Jamaican, Italian, plus now Puerto Rican Brady bunch, all living in like this one like you know, really nice townhome. Actually.
Hey, side note, Robbie, that sounds like one hell of a television show we're gonna write one day. You know what I'm saying? A coming of age story. You know what I mean? But go on.
Bro, my life could be a movie, bro. Like, my life could be a movie.
It'll be a series for sure.
My stepdad, before, you know, he ended up, you know, going to jail and shit. And the reason why we didn't make it is because, rest in peace, my brother / you know, cousin Ruben.
Rest in peace.
He didn't make the team. Like, this motherfucker had one job to go out there, and we told him, bro, you cannot try out for quarterback. I'm like, no, you can't. Like, you really can't, bro. Like, because there was a rule, there's this dumbass rule in Stafford County that if your siblings, one sibling, if a sibling makes the team, or like all the siblings pretty much.
Because you were a receiver, you were always a receiver, so it couldn't be you couldn't be related to the quarterback, is what you're saying.
Well, no, like they had like this rule, like that, you know, if you're related, it's either you both make it, or, you know, all of you guys make it, or either none of you guys make it, you know, because they don't want to cause conflict at home.
Yeah,
with, you know, one child feeling left out. I don't know, it's some stupid shit.
It could be for convenience too, convenience purposes, like, you know, mother or father is going to be dropping off the kids. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, they're all in it, so, you know what I mean? We drop them off together type of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, bro, it's you know, this is during the era of like No Child Left Behind and like you know, shit like that. So like, this is when like the entitlement that many people, you know, bestow upon millennials is kind of coming up. Like in that culture, like this is where we're at in society, kind of like that beginning point. Yeah. So yeah, there's that soft rule.
So you're 1991, right?
Because
you're 91.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm putting it in perspective. So Playmakers. So right now, but about this time, we're like in the later 90s, right here, right?
No, we're like in like the 2000s now. This is
okay.
like now like 7th, 8th grade.
Okay, so you're already like 13, 14 years old type of shit.
Yeah, 13, 14.
Oh yeah, this is when motherfuckers are hitting already. Like they're hitting already, full pads, everything.
Yeah, we're hitting, you know.
Yeah.
So
and that was
made the team.
Playmakers. Because a lot of people, my bad, I need to cut you off one more time. One more thing I wanted to add is like Playmakers. Back then, there was a term called laying hat. Like, laying hat is something they don't do or teach children no more because of, you know, heads up, you know, and CTE and shit like that. You know what I mean? But like, bruh, laying hat was where, like,
I was nasty. I made it as receiver and corner. So like the year before, I did not make the team, and I only tried out for receiver. The second year, they were like receiver and corner.
They go hand in hand, right? You know what I mean? Kind of makes you a great corner when you start at receiver too. Shout out to Richard Sherman of the Richard Shermans of the world. You know what I mean? Like, cause you know how to break off on a route. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You're familiar with the you know, the quarterback's reads. Like, you know, a cornerback who has a background in receivers where it's at. Duly note that, Playmakers. If, you know, don't limit yourself. If you're just a receiver, you know what I mean? It's, you know, go ahead and get in that corner drills too. You know what I mean? Because you might have a future in that as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, big facts. Oh, yeah. But no, man, fucking, we ended up making me and Ricky made the team. The Coach Brooks eventually called on, and he's like, "Wait, you guys all keep getting picked up from tryouts together, from practice together." We're like, and we see him just on the sideline, you know, kind of watching you guys after school.
Oh, you're talking about Ruben, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, are y'all related? And then we were like,
I just realized you guys are all ours too. Robbie, Ruben, Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky, Robbie, Ruben, and then there was Zachary.
You guys are like the good. I was gonna say you guys are like the ghetto new edition, right? It's like Robbie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. You know what I'm saying?
And we were so bad. Like some of the greatest memories were when fights would break out in school between like when like someone would try and fuck with one of them, and then like, here comes me. Like, bro, we were bad. We were bad, and we had each other's backs. Oh my gosh! And don't let our sister Jessica have a boyfriend. Like my stepdad, he's from Brownsville. He's from Brownsville, New York,
he's
right?
From Brooklyn.
And like he was on some fucking ODB shit, like some King Tut shit, just pumping out cakes. Like I have, in terms of my
on some King Tut shit, yes.
I have like 7. They have like 7 brothers and sisters, like 8.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, like it's like an ungodly amount of like step siblings I have. In terms of like biological siblings, it's just me and my brother Zachary. But
I love that. I love that you come from a big background, because you know what I'm saying. I think I've mentioned this to you before. My mom's she has 6 sisters and 7 brothers, so there's 14 of them, and like, you know, I have like 50 first cousins for real. Like, it's uncanny. Like, and we were all tight knit. Like, and we had a gang in the family. You know what I mean? Like, there was gang culture in my family where it was like, yo, you don't want to fuck with the family. You know what I mean? Like, cause you fuck with one, you're fucking with them all. You know what I mean? And you know, you got Robbie, Ricky, and Mike coming at you now. You feel me?
Yeah, bro, it was crazy growing up, man, and like you know, and they had,
and this was was this still in the DC area?
that swagger about them. So I mean, a lot of, and they were Ricky was short, so like people would try to fuck with him. So you know, I'd have to come up and.
Were you guys in the?
I had to serve up a couple of cats. H Pool, middle school, shout out. North Stafford High School, shout out. If y'all were in them hallways and you got bodied by me, I apologize.
Hey man, they might think it's an honor now when they find out what kind of person you turned out to be. You feel me? They're like, yo.
Oh yeah. Like now, like I'm such like a peaceful person now, you know, and it's crazy. You know, I still have my moments. Like my wife be pissing me off now. You know, now I'm married with kids. You know, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yep. Shout out to Mrs. Admiral. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, she holds it down. You know, so I mean.
So were you guys in the DC?
It's a beautiful thing.
Was this still in the DC area, or did you already make your way out to?
This was in Virginia.
Oh, this is in Virginia now.
The DC area, to be honest.
Like, well, because it's all meshed together.
DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Shout out to Merlin. Shout out to V-Town. Shit. Shout out to VA, I should say. You know what I mean?
2 up, 2 down.
Yeah. Okay, so now you're playing, you know, now you're playing football and shit, right? Like,
and then we end up getting kicked off the team because of, you know,
because of squabbling,
not making it. Got through like a game.
Was this okay? So now, was this another one of those discouraging moments? Like, did you know what I mean? Like, because you're one of the people I know who has the biggest chip on his shoulder, and so I just want to I want to paint a picture for the playmakers that the journey that, like, because you keep trucking. You've never been a, you know, you never strike me as a person who ever gave up. Like, you know, matter of fact, like if somebody held you back.
I never did give up. We all ended up joining the wrestling team that we all did make, and that we were all excellent in.
What was your weight class at the time?
What was that?
What was your weight class at the time?
Oh God, I was like 103. I was tiny.
I wrestled too.
I was
tiny,
bro. But
I
was tall,
I lost to a girl, bro.
Like,
I was so small. Like I lost to a girl. Like, and then so I never even got to have an actual match because, you know, you would in practice you would face your teammates, and then, you know what I'm saying, you win, and then you go to the match, and like there was this broad, and shout out to the homegirl. Lexi, you know what I'm saying? She actually grew up to be sexy. We used to call her Sexy Lexi. And like, bro, she rocked the kid, bro.
Shout out
like,
Sexy Lexi.
Shout out to Sexy Lexi, dude. Like, she was, because all her brothers were all ill wrestlers, state champs and shit. And like, bro, she tore me up. And like, I just, go on.
I wasn't that good at it. Like I mean, like I was good, but you know, I didn't enjoy it, I should say.
Okay.
I didn't enjoy it. So the effort that I put in wasn't the same that I put in towards football, or, you know, playing basketball, or even, you know, playing baseball. Like it didn't fuel me the same way. I didn't, like, I'm like, yo, I'm freaking rolling around on a mat in a goddamn leotard with a grown ass man. It's like,
I know, right? And like when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I always wanted to be a rapper or a pro wrestler. And it was like, this wrestling shit isn't like on TV. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
no, bro. No, it's not. So like after that, like I stuck with that, you know, because they were on the team. And then one day during a match, dude just first move, just reached out and just grabbed my junk just a little too comfortably.
Yeah, that's a throw off method.
I was like, yep, nope, I'm done. I walked out.
He's like,
my mom is in the stands and she's like,
he grabbed your shit, bitch.
My dad is like, oh shit. I'm like, yeah, like this is not the way that I want to hit people, man. Like I want to hit people, but this is not the way that I want to do it. They ended up. I ended
That's
up
cold.
just going strictly with American karate. I finished out with American karate until my freshman year of high school. And then in high school, I was participating in karate, and I was on the football team, and I played pretty much up to like my junior year.
Nice.
Got injured, fucked up my knee. Luckily, I still had the backing of ROTC.
Oh yeah. Okay, so ROTC was the precursor to the military because they will get you
Pretty
right.
much.
Yeah, Playmakers. You know what I'm saying? When you're choosing your electives, you know, you got art, you got, you know, wood shop or coding nowadays. I know they have coding. You know what I'm saying? But look, military is everything in one. If you go into ROTC, you know what I'm saying? They will set you up to find your career in life. You know what I mean?
So at this time, like you know, I'm also like you know, as myself, you know, this one, you know, angry, rebellious youth, you know. Two, you know, I'm looking for avenues and a way out of my goddamn house at this point. You know, my dad's locked up at this point. Now I'm separated from my brothers because he's locked up, so that they end up getting stuck with their crazy ass aunt and uncle, who's all communication with us for about almost like 10, 12 years, all the way up until I was like 23, like
wow.
22, 23.
So you were you know, so the Rubens of the world and the Rickies of the world, they weren't around at this particular moment in time. So it was Robbie. Robbie J
they had pretty much been taken. Like, you know, my mom, like my dad had even requested like you know, no, I want you know, the kids to stay with her, and you know, they wanted to, but shit in the court and everything got real crazy, and it was like, you know what, fuck it, like. My mom just kind of like doing it. She's like, you guys can have the kids. Like, and I can't keep going.
It's
back
pretty
and forth
heavy, man. It's pretty heavy on a child's mental state too. Like, you know, being removed, like, you know, forcefully. Like, you know, the ones around you, like, you know what I mean, and like, you know what I mean. Like, I'm pointing this out to the Playmakers because this is something that one of those moments where it helps shape who you are. You know what I mean? So I wanted to definitely point that out. Like,
yeah, because it did two different things to all of us. You know, it forced, you know, Ricky and Ruben towards down a path of like they were like in and out of like juvie, like in and out of like
juvenile hall, YA, shit like that.
What's up?
Yeah, like juvenile hall and YA and shit like that.
Yeah, you know, constantly in and out, and even like for Ricky, I mean, you know, still, you know. To this day, you know, I tell him every now and then, it's like, brother, like, just get your life together, you know. For me, it drove me to where my mom was working so hard. It seemed my mom worked so hard to, like, drive us to the good schools in the county so that we didn't have to go to the shitty schools where we lived because, you know, we lived in such a shitty neighborhood. Thomas Jefferson Place, I hated that place.
Yeah, know, so we're not shouting them out. We're not shouting out Thomas J. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But you know, no, I mean, shout out to Thomas Jefferson Place, shout out to Williamstown. You know, those are places that made me. You know, those are neighborhoods that made me.
Yeah, I'm saying it, I mean, but yeah.
You know, like you know, I got to. Like a show like All American is a show that like I relate to like very well. It's on TV. It's on like Netflix. You know, because my life was pretty much like that. You know, she was driving me back and forth, right? But you know, anyways, so like I'm just looking for a way out. So I'm doing anything and everything that I can at this point in my life to make colleges look at me. Yeah. You know, I did not want to go into the military. I did not.
But so that was your ace in the hole. That was definitely your ace in the hole. Like, if you know what I mean, and so that was definitely, you had a plan B, which a lot of adolescents don't have. You know what I mean? So that's one thing. Playmakers, he had a goal that he had set, but he also had a backup plan because he refused to be a victim of society or be a statistic. You know what I mean? He was gonna make something of himself one way or another.
But at the same time, I was like, when the books were closed, I was doing shit that was making me a statistic. Like, my sixth grade teacher told me straight up, like, Ms. Belcher, she was like, you keep going at the rate you're going, by 21 years old, you'll be dead or in jail.
Damn.
You know.
But you know what though? Shout out to her, because some teachers, not only do teachers get paid shitty, right? But like, so like the fulfillment of like being able to like care about your job and the students and like be able to tell someone something real like that. Like, I mean, obviously there's some teachers that will just shit on kids and be like, you ain't gonna be shit and woo woo. But she was just kind of warning you like, listen, you go down this path, there's only, you know, that light that you think is at the end of that tunnel is a light that's dim. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you know, and really, like, you know, I was finding myself in, like, you know, crazy situations, you know, and, like, you know, whether, like, it was at home or, you know, in the streets. So, I mean, I really just was part of me was still trying to find my way, while part of me was like, yo, let's go do hood rat shit.
Yeah. Like, let's go do some fun shit.
You know, like, what can I say? Like, you know, like you mentioned, you know, I'm a Gemini. It happens. But anyways, you know, ROTC kind of, you know, was kind of like helped like molded me in a way, because it gave me the ability to show off my leadership skills. Football gave me a way to show off my leadership skills. And then that's when I kind of found out, and that's when I figured out, I'm like, okay, like I think like this is who I am. Like, I think my calling, you know, out here is to kind of help people and guide people. And
hey, you ain't lying, man.
Like,
that's how I met.
Know.
That's how I met the Admiral. Playmakers. He seen me. You know, he seen me. I was a. You know what I'm saying? It was like a beacon. You know what I'm saying? I was drawn to him. He basically discovered me. Like, one day when we get to where we're going, and I get to be on the other side of this interview one day, and I'll be telling the origin story myself, right? I'll be able to pinpoint that it was Robbie J who basically discovered me. You know what I mean?
What was that?
No, I'm saying, like, one day when I get to tell my origin story, like, you know, granted that I get to where I'm trying to go, and I get to look back when and see that I came so far, I could honestly say that, like, that you discovered me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, and that's some real shit. That's some that like the fact that you acknowledge that. You know, and I appreciate that, you know.
Yeah,
but
man,
I mean,
I call a spade a spade, bro.
At the end of the day, you know, we got work to do, and we got to put in that work to get to the top, to get to the pinnacle, to get to where we want to be, and we're doing it, man. Rumboyz.com, check it out.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Rumboyz.com to get you all that fresh drip. Rumboyz with a Z, that is. Okay, so now you're setting up to, and you're getting settled to go into the military. You know, so when you have the Marines, you have the Army, you have the Air Force, you have the Navy. So what made you gravitate towards the Air Force?
My dad. It was my dad.
Okay.
He sat me down, and he was like, "Look, like, I love you. Like, it sucks that, you know, like, college isn't really, you know, like, my dad was like, look, I'm not paying for you to go to fucking college. Like he's like, you're going into the military."
He was keeping it. He was keeping it a buck.
That's honestly what really set it up. He was like, you have the ROTC background. You're going as an E3. Like, he's pitching. He's like, he's not even elevator pitching. Like, he's like hard selling, bro. Yeah. Like,
he's force feeding it.
Yeah, he's me when I'm in a meeting with like, you know, with like a sponsor or something. Like, no, like, this is why you really need to come to Rumboyz, and why you should really, you know, take a look at our brand, take a look at our numbers. Like, bro, like, he was.
Oh, speaking of that too. Side note. So I just shot your address, your mailing address to my guy, to our sponsor, Milk and Honey, and we're gonna go ahead and get you that topical. It's gonna be in the mail. You know what I mean? But yeah, go on.
Hell yes. I cannot wait.
I know. I'm excited. I'm excited,
man. Dude, it's yeah. What the fuck was I saying?
Oh yeah, my bad. I be doing that too much. No, you're talking about. So he basically sat you down and was like, just basically slapping you around like, listen, you about to do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was like, you know, like, you really need to do this. He's like, where are you going with your life? Like, I mean, and it kind of happened because he was doing laundry one day. while I was
he found something,
quote unquote, like at work.
Yeah.
And opened up the drawer, and he
found some
a flag.
things.
He found a flag. Yeah. He was like, "Yo, what are you doing?"
shit.
And I'm like,
We don't have to get into the color of the flag. That's not important. But
we're
just,
not going to do that. But yeah, I mean, you know.
yeah, but he found out that you was gang affiliated in that sense.
Yeah, he was like, you know, like this is not the path that you want to go down, you know.
Yeah.
Like, look, man, you can like travel the world. And like one of the things that really sold me, he was like, look, man, you can travel the world and pussy.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
International pussy,
like,
son.
You know what? You right.
Right?
Like, why am I not already, you know, like with the shits, you know? So
I love that. No, because
he took me to
that's
the recruiting office. He was like, "Yo, Air Force is the best one for you. Like, they take care of their people and have bomb ass food. Slim chance of you deploying." He was like, "So you don't have to worry about necessarily dying." He's like, "I mean, but you could die."
Yeah, because
like,
what is this?
right,
Where are we? Are we in 2007, 8-ish, around that time?
So I graduated 09.
Okay, so this is like 2010-ish. Because because the war wasn't the war necessarily wasn't like popping off still, but we were occupying everywhere. Like we're
bro, I remember the day that Bin Laden was killed. I am outside. Duty
that was 2011, right, bro?
And
go on. I have an Obama. I have that story too. Go ahead.
And next thing I know, my homie pulls up in a fucking Humvee, and everyone that's in the facilities, they're all coming out and they're running out of the facility. They're like, yeah, we got him. My homie said,
I got goosebumps right now.
Beers are popping in uniform. I'm like, yo, this is so lit. I'm like 19 years old.
Because,
like,
bro,
like
you guys got the enemy. You guys, the number one most wanted man in the entire world. And y'all motherfuckers finally took this nigga down. You feel me?
Bro, and I'm stationed in Italy, right? So, like, we're, like, right there. You know, so, like, the threat was always, like, so close. Like, and they preach that shit every damn morning. We had these things called guard mount, you know, and guard mount, you know, arm up, everything like that. Ironically enough, I was military police. It's not what you guys think. Trust me, it sucks.
It's a title. It's a title, and that means you're on post too. Like I'd imagine, like, you know, every so often
checking IDs.
Yeah, I'd imagine they used to give you like a 24-hour post sometimes too, right?
Oh yeah, sometimes you know, like, and also, like, when you're security forces in the Air Force, you're essentially the Air Force's infantry.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're treated. You get the perks of, like, some of the perks of being in the Air Force. And you get better weapons and equipment than the Army. But at the end of the goddamn day, you're just fucking infantry. Like,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, you strap. You a shooter.
Yeah. Oh yeah, bro. And man, when I there was this one time, man, where I have a heart, right? I have a big fucking heart. And we were working this case, and there was this captain, and he had information that he had something on his computer that he shouldn't have.
So, he was withholding.
Well, no, we're both. Let's just say we're both dads. And when I got there and I saw the evidence, I fucking whooped his ass.
Oh no, he was looking at kids, bro.
Yeah, bro.
That piece of shit. Hold on. We got to
let me tell
fuck
you,
that
was
shit.
The most gratifying fucking moment that I can arrest someone. I was like, yo, I was like, hold on. I was like, I can fuck him up right now. And as long as we all write this shit, we're good.
Nah, but that's a special type of scum, bro. That's a special type of scum of the earth where it's like,
oh yeah,
you might as well have whooped his ass then arrested him. Dude, but like
that I did.
Yeah,
and I never had that was the one time that I arrested someone and I was like, yo, this is exhilarating.
Yeah. Okay.
It was like,
for the Playmakers.
Don't get me wrong, it's still fuck 12 because now I'm really out here, bro.
Yeah.
They fuck with me so hard.
Okay, check this out. For the Playmakers, I want you to describe like your attire. So when you were out there and you're policing this shit, right? What kind of piece did you have on you? And like, what I mean, like obviously.
Oh, I had an M4. I had an M4 with a wolf clip on a sling, and this is every day. And I had an M9 Beretta.
Yeah, okay, that you had that on the hip. So you had that on the hip.
Special assets. I got to ride around with a AT4 in the fucking trunk of a Humvee every day. Every day. Really quick.
Yeah.
Playmakers. The greatest, most exhilarating feeling in your life is putting a fucking anti-tank rocket-propelled launcher on your shoulder. You know what I mean? And hitting that little red button. It's not a trigger, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a button.
It's a little red button, and it's so beautiful.
And the first thing they tell you too is don't press this button unless we give you the cue. You know what I mean?
Oh, bro. There's a 50-degree blast radius. Blast fan that the fire that pretty much shoots out the back, so you have to make sure like no one's behind you. You gotta make sure your partner is like out of the way. It's like, bro, load that shit,
and then get the fuck out of the way.
Yo, right here next to me, that is your safest spot.
Get behind me and behind the button. Get behind the button.
It was.
That's fucking awesome. I mean, I don't want to glorify anything like that, but yes, that is definitely I got exhilarated hearing the story right now. So,
look,
go on.
I'll say this: the military definitely gave me a hard on for my right to bear arms.
Yeah,
man. Like I have, when I tell you, I have literally shot every single kind of weapon that there is. Like,
you hear that, Playmakers? All y'all playing Call of Duty, man. You know what? Take it to the next level and go to the military. You know what I'm saying,
bro? There's nothing like sitting in a freaking turret. Get.
Yeah.
Just fucking ripping. Yo, the 249, the 249 saw. Yo, or either the 240 Bravo.
Is that the one that shoots the 50 cal?
That sound like just clapping sheets, just dumping 7.62 of lead.
Oh, the 7.62s, the Frankensteins. Ooh. That's why they call it the chainsaw. What'd you say? They call it the saw?
Or the 249 is the saw. Is the saw.
Cause that shit'll cut a goddamn building in half.
And the 249 is easy to move around with, man. You can pick that joint up too.
No fucking way.
No, bro.
But it needs to be mounted.
203 Grenadier. I was a 203 Grenadier. So attached to my M4. Oh my gosh. Don't act stupid. We'll call it an airstrike in this bitch when I pop smoke real quick. Bro, like, it's pretty badass.
Yeah, it is pretty badass. I mean, like, especially because I know, like you said, you have heart. It's great that someone like you was in that position because, there is some individuals that are twisted out there that like they will join this shit just to get their hands on weaponry like that. You know what I mean? Like,
bruh,
it was more like the perks.
Like, yo, hurry up, get me through freaking basic training, so I can have a decent looking, haircut. Not, how we looking right now in this course.
I know, right?
But
you ain't lying, bro.
Give me a decent cut. Ship me out, overseas. So I can start, rocking chains, driving nice whips, and clapping cheeks.
Yeah. Do.
Bro, that's all that my mind was thinking about. Like, bro, and let me tell you something. So for everybody out there, basic training is a trip, right? Like, y'all think you have to wear a mask now? Do mock drills.
Oh shit!
Put on mop gear.
And that's where they put the
Around a
gas.
full-on gas mask.
Wow.
Into a gas chamber, bro. That was the craziest fucking mind trip, bro.
Is that why you're one of the? Is that why you're one of the most world-renowned weed smokers? Like your lung capacity has been through rigorous training. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. You know, so like I was like, man, like I'm good. Like I'm good, bro. I got up in there and I ain't never bitched up in my life, but that day I did. That day my nuts crept up into my throat and I was get me out of here. Like, bro, I was.
Oh shit!
I saw a video, and the reason why I bring this up is I saw a video the other day on Facebook, and literally watching the freaking video, someone posted it, and they were like, share this if you've been through this, and like literally, I'm watching the video while I'm taking a shit, bro. I literally could like taste and like feel it in my eyes, like watching the video. I was like, oh my gosh!
It's seared into the memory where it's like, and you know what that's called? That's called synesthesia. Where like one sensory perception to the next. It's like for example, you might smell a fragrance from a bitch you used to hit, and it'll immediately trigger the memory, right? Or in this case, visually, you're watching this exercise, and you're like, oh my god, it brings you right back. The motherfucker was sitting on the shitter. It just all kind of shit just came out. He was like,
no, I actually literally stopped and like as a man, especially a man with wife and kids, like that's your moment of peace,
Yeah.
And
taking a shit. Oh yeah.
Respect to telling the story. I just sniffed it. I could smell it, bro. Like that shit is, but it's an experience. It's an experience, It's an experience. Like it was kind of worth it. I was like, yo, I might die today. That literally went through my head. I was like, this is the moment.
Is this the end? Is this the end of the line for Robbie J? You're like
at that moment I started thinking about all the chicks from high school, all the memories, all the great parties, all the colleges I visited. Oh man, I was like, man, I should have definitely went to Virginia Tech. Yep, Virginia Tech a whole lot better than this shit. Sitting there holding my gas mask, so much shit went through my mind. How did I end up here? I'm a dumbass. My dad told me to come here. And bro, they just prick you with like all types of freaking drugs and shit. Like my arm never got so abused in the first 2 weeks. They just
wow, that's part of training?
Dude, they got it. You don't know what they're even injecting you with. So
wow.
Let's start that off first. All right. They're like, yeah, this one here is so you can't ever get anthrax. They're just like, bow, just stab you in the arm. Boom. It's like, yo, did you even get it up in there? Like, come on. Like, you're like, yo, it's a trip. It's a trip. Like, if you can make it through, like, the basic training, and shout out to the Marines, because their basic training is a 14-week basic training.
Shout out to the Marines.
Yes, and I think Army's is Army's is 9 weeks. But no, anyways, like, if you can make it through the basic training, through all the mind fuckery, someone coming in, flipping your fucking bed at 3 a.m. in the morning, wake up, retards! Like, they really call you that.
Yeah.
Like
PC America doesn't exist in the military. They don't give a fuck. They'll call you faggot. They'll call you a bitch. They don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Retard.
Bro, I literally had a drill sergeant. This Filipino dude. Damn, I can't remember his name, but he was from Philly.
Yeah.
And
it was my cousin.
5'6".
It was my cousin.
But yo, this motherfucker was short. And when I tell you, this man would get up in my face. What do you think you're about to laugh at? You're about to laugh? And I was just sitting there, like, not even laughing. Like my face is still, like,
yeah.
Like, you want to hit me, don't you? You want to hit me, don't you? Like, in my head, I'm like,
fuck yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of right. Like, he's like, I will fucking kick you in the teeth. I will fuck you up. Do you understand me? I'm like, the fuck is wrong with you, man?
I know, relax, bro.
I'm like, yo, go smoke some, like, but you can in the military, like, you're not allowed to,
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, you make it through that, I promise you guys, you can have all the Camaros and all the women in the world. After that, you just gotta have to deal with getting shit on it first.
Okay, so By this time, you were stationed in Italy, you said, right?
Yeah, so I was stationed in Italy 09 to 11. I ended up getting out of the military because, once again, I don't like authority.
Dating back to the Wee Tyke, the early Robbie J days, where it's like you're a natural leader, so it's not that you were maybe necessarily still a rebel at this time, but you were maybe not a rebel without a cause.
I was a squad leader and everything, and like I had responsibilities. Situation happened at Bogard Air Force Base. Had a little PTSD when we came home.
Yeah.
I told them, I was like, hey, if you want me to keep deploying and to be able to have the capacity to keep putting lead down range, and possibly, hurting people, killing people, then you need to either, you can send me to Yokota Air Force Base, which was in Tokyo, which was in Japan.
Okay, is that in
I had a fetish.
Is that in Okinawa?
I was like, yo, you can send me there.
Oh, you had a fetish for the moose shoes.
Yeah, I was like, yo, you can send me.
Where I'm from, Playmakers, or even you, Robbie, check us out.
I had yellow fever, bro.
Yeah, we call them moose shoes. The little bad Asian bitches, we call them moo moos. Yeah. Love the moose shoes. Shout out to all the moose shoes.
So I was like, hey, like, send me out there and I can have the mental stability to possibly keep being able to do this job.
Hey, which also goes back.
I'll have something that'll keep my mind off it.
I mean, it goes back to how your pops told you too, right? Remember your pops told you too, like, bruh, it's about going around the world, all kind of pussies out there. So you're like, yo, send me out to the moose shoes, bruh. Like, let me,
I'm like, if not, then, send me back home, because I'm not going home to my mom in a pinewood box.
So this was this was during a time where you had to re-enlist, then, essentially, right? So you're at a fork in the road. Like,
no.
Oh, you were still in. You were still in.
I put on my blues. I put on my blues willingly. Woke up one morning, put on my blues, willingly walked into to my first nurse office, and I was like, I need to talk to you, and I need to talk to our CO. Like, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, I can't sleep at night. Like, I can't do this. Like, I can't do this. Like, you guys have me all medicated up on so many goddamn different things.
When we were speaking candid earlier, you did touch on that, where you're like, you know what I mean? They start, not only were they injecting you with all kind of shit, they're throwing you all kind of different meds, like thinking, and
it's like, yo, like you're giving me fucking Ambien, and all it's doing is making me goddamn hallucinate at night. Like, I can't sleep. Like, I still can't sleep. Like, I still have these goddamn nightmares. That actually is intensifying.
That's scary.
The nightmare. So I mean, it was like I gotta, like, it's either send me elsewhere. Like at this time, I was literally about to get restationed, is what it was. My tour in Italy was probably up.
By this time too, did you have an affinity for Italy? Like, since you had already spent time there prior to the military, like,
Italy's fucking awesome.
Yeah, love it.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Italy, Croatia, Slovenia. Germany's pretty dope.
They love black folks. All throughout those.
There, like, when I had my off days, 200 euros, which is like 150 American dollars. 200 euro. Hop on a Ryanair flight. You can bring one carry-on bag and fly to another country for a weekend. Fuck it, dude. Like, do you have a road dog at the time? Like, did you have, like, your like a main nigga that would, like, rock with you? Yeah, man, my homie Ray Patterson.
Shout out to Ray.
My homie Jay Harris.
Shout out to Jay.
We was actually working on, like, the music thing while we were in, we were working on music and, like,
nice.
movie scripts and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, Playmakers. I forgot to list that too in the introduction. Robbie got some bars, low key. Robbie don't be playing.
So we was doing our thing, out there, man. And yeah, like the crew was deep. We were traveling, getting pussy and putting bullets down range. Like, that's what we did, bro.
That's a hell of a life, bro. Like,
drive nice flips,
And this is before children, so you were a real free spirit at the time.
Oh yeah, no, I had no kids back then.
Yeah.
I had no kids back then. I actually broke up with the chick that I had back home in the States because I found out that she was only with me to get the military benefits.
Hold on, we gotta boo that.
Baby.
We gotta boo that. Look, bitch, now you fucked up, bitch, because Robbie J done walked out your life, bitch.
Yeah, now, Rumboyz CEO, we doing our thing.
Yeah, okay, go on, continue.
But no, man, we, so that time my life was lit. I came back to the States around like 2011, 2012.
Did they argue with you at all when you were like, bro, I'm out of here? When you like you said, you threw on the boots one morning, you walked up into the office, and you were just like, I'm up out of here. And they're like,
because I was literally they had me on pretty much like med hold because like I was like just like so fucking like doped up like all these meds.
Because it makes you a not normal person. You know what I mean? When you're on those meds, like, it makes you like flat and emotionless. And I could see why like the military would kind of want their personnel to be on these type of meds because, if you're emotionless, you really have no remorse in that sense, right? And they kind of want that. They kind of want mindless.
I mean, bro, not only was I emotionless and like I couldn't sleep, but like they had like deemed me there like yo, you can't carry a weapon right now.
So now they were trying to take the fun away from you now.
If I can't have my gun, hell no. I was like, I can't do my job. I can't work.
Bruh, it's like I'm in infantry. Like I was an officer. I took pedophiles off the street even. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm like, bro, I'm like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, come on. Like this is what I do. And it like I was like, I can't keep doing this. And they were like, you know what? You're actually right. Like they're like, we can't send you to Japan. Like they're like, you can't. But fucking
like now you're gonna deny me the Mushu too? He was like, listen, send me home. You're like, I'm going home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm like, let's just go ahead and rush the goddamn process.
Look, going back to my ET shirt, he was like, I'm phoning home.
Sitting in my goddamn fucking dorm room, like I'm just gonna magically get better? Like, no.
Yeah. Yeah. And like ultimately too, did you feel like you were just like another number? You know what I mean? Because it is the military. Like, did you just feel like
you're definitely just a number? Like, you're definitely just a number. Like, no fucks are given if you
like. I don't want to discourage any of the playmakers.
Like, bro, literally, this is really quick.
Yeah.
I remember in tech school, pretty much, a lot of military members that may listen to the show, what you guys may know as AIT. And literally, where I'm learning, how to clear a building, or we're going through, drills of, clearing buildings, still doing knock-it talks and shit. Fucking literally, like one of the trainers, literally like, yo, are you ready to fucking kill babies? I was like, what? And like, I'm so fucked up at the time because they're I'm picked up, like I'm like, yo, I can't really go off of base. It's like I can only go off of base like for like an hour. They hit like go fuck around with spirit, the Air Force basic training and tech school is for military police.
Hold on one second. One second. Did you back up from the mic a little bit at all?
Nah.
Oh, there you go. There you go. You're back. No, all good. Because I did see you moving around a little bit. No, okay, no, all good. My bad. Keep rocking. Keep rocking.
But yeah, like fucking
killing babies, me. All you wanted to do was get some moose.
He yelled in my face. He was like, "Are you ready to kill babies for your country?" I'm like,
damn.
Like in my mind, I'm thinking that, but because like
going back to you having a heart
through you, and like all this adrenaline from like fucking like even like it's training. So like it's like just hearing like fucking fake bullets. So, like you're like the next day you're at the range popping live bullets. I'm like, hell yeah, like
yeah.
And like now I look back, and I'm like, who was I then? Like, why did I say that shit? Like, why was I down with that?
Well, I mean, it is the adrenaline and the high of these high-powered weaponry. You know what I mean? Where it's like you get it kind of gives you the shakes, right? Like you're like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you hear all the stories about people that have adrenaline. They'll lift cars and shit or pull people out of.
Yeah. Yo, I could like because so much adrenaline was like pumping. Like I was able to do that shit for like days. It's like, yo, you mean I get to carry a machine gun today? Like,
damn.
you know.
So
it is. What's up?
No. My bad. No, continue.
No, but I mean, you know, that was life from like 2010 like 2011. But then 2012, I came back to fucking like shitty ass Virginia. With my mom, and then she was like, I like look like some new dude. While like my fucking my stepdad is in jail. My real dad, he was like living it up. Like he's got like a new wife, like fat ass crib. It's like, damn, you're like,
yeah. He's like, damn, pops, I'm over here. They're trying to make me kill babies and shit. Now you living large.
Yeah, bro. Cause like there's like he had retired and everything like that. So yeah, he was living it up and shit. My mom's just like always like mad angry. So I hated coming back to that environment because like, yo, this is why I left.
Yeah. Yeah, when you were an adolescent, you were talking about I need to get the fuck out of here, and then so now you're returning to essentially the same environment. You know what I mean? And like, yeah. And home is as they would say, where the heart is. And like when you get home and it's like, yo, like it's. You know what I mean? And especially the things that you had seen and done within that time period, and you get back and kind of things are still the same in that sense, and you're like, bruh, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, and it was tough for like for me, when I came home because I was still like having the nightmares, yada yada yada. I fucking hated going to the VA. Like the VA just it was like depressed me more and more, and I was like, man, I can't keep doing this.
VA as in Virginia,
like
right?
All these other veterans, they're like broken and like missing fucking
Oh, you're
legs
talking about
and shit.
VA as in the veterans shit.
What's up?
No, wait, my bad. Because there's two VAs. There's VA Virginia, but you're talking about VA
the
like the veteran
affairs,
shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to clarify for the Playmakers.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, because that's when you'll hear. Because now you're meeting veterans that like.
I hadn't even when I first landed. Like I hadn't even smoked like weed yet.
Yeah.
My mom's like, she sat me down one day. She's like, look, you can't keep fucking waking up in the middle of the night screaming and shit.
Yeah.
It's like we need to check this. Like we need to get you back right. And I'm like, yo, you think like I wanted to fucking stop too. Like,
right?
Like I want to be normal.
Yeah.
And then she sat me down. She was like, look. Pulls out a little doobie. Pulls out a doobie.
Wow.
Yeah, and then she's like,
"Hey, Mama knows. Mama knows.
My mom's Jamaican, and I'm like,
Mama knows.
Like, you smoke? I'm like, Mom, you smoke? She was like, yeah. She was like, yeah, I smoke. I'm like, yo, we'll talk about who you get from later. You're gonna have to hook me up, but yo, let's get it. Like, sparked up, and then that first time, like, because I hadn't smoked like the whole time in the military. I was like, oh shit! Like,
Hey, did Moms?
I was
Okay.
higher than Giraffe Neck, bro.
Yes, higher than Giraffe Cooch even. You know what I'm saying? He said Giraffe Neck even. That's way higher than Giraffe Cooch. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, that is way higher than Giraffe Pussy, bro. Yeah,
bro.
I was dumb high, bro.
Dang, so
man,
Mama had the good.
Yeah, it saved me, honestly. She was like,
wow, Mama knows.
Yeah, and it replaced pills. It replaced all the meds that I was on. I didn't need them anymore. Like, about like it started. It took a minute, but like, next thing I know, like after like 3 months, just like smoking. I was like,
also that's like, a good amount of time
sleepy.
to get the chemicals that your body naturally has flowing, like to get back balanced and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
man.
Yeah.
I mean, fun fact, Playmakers, our brain and our body naturally has cannabinoid receptors. We are supposed to have marijuana in our life some way or another. Like, this is from the dawn of man. Like, God wouldn't design human beings to have these cannabinoid receptors without us really requiring this. You know what I mean? Like, it's required. Like,
Damn straight.
Right? As Robbie J smokes up a good one right now. You know what I'm saying? Playmakers.
Yeah. I'm on that sour, bro.
I love
Got that
Diesel too.
sour.
That's a great sativa right there. It's like a sativa dominant strain. I love personally I love sativas over indicas. I mean, I love it all. But like, you know, I love getting my brain work. Like my girl, she'll smoke with me, right? And like she'll get mad because she'll be like, is this indica? Because she likes it to be chill. And I'll be like, yeah. And then like, you know, and then it's funny because she'll be smooth on a sativa if she didn't know it was, you know what I mean? If she knew it was, she'd be all tripping, like, you know, because you're more aware, you're more like coherent.
Yeah.
And she would mistaken that for being paranoid. I'm like, no, baby, you're just more aware of things. You know what I mean? But like, if I told her it wasn't, she would be fine. You know what I mean? I'm like, baby, it's all placebo. Like, this is that good. You know what I mean?
Bro, I'm lucky. I'm the only, you know, my wife, you know, she don't smoke, you know, so I'm fortunate. It's all mine,
Yeah. Hey, in this case, Mrs. Admiral, there is no his and hers when it comes to the good ganja. You know what I'm saying?
Hell no.
That's
I'm
funny,
so happy.
dude.
I'm so fortunate.
Right?
But yeah, bro.
Okay, so now we're smooth back in VA, right? We're back in Virginia. So when
I'm living in shitty ass fucking Dumfries, Manassas area. I was living in Williamstown, between Williamstown and Fuller Heights. Yeah, me and my mom was like when I came home, like shit was real rocky. You know, we never really had like a really great relationship growing up. You know, because like shit was just always rough. You feel me?
No, I feel you.
So yeah, I mean, you know, she my mom's had anger problems, like mad anger problems. If y'all think what I'm saying out there. So came home and I was like, man, I need to, you know, I need to figure something out. Like I couldn't even have like relationships, like healthy, like dating wise, like relationships at this time. Now, like, you know, 21, 22. So like I kind of got like, you know, overseas, I kind of got all that childish shit out of me. You know, at that point in time. Yeah,
because I mean,
you know?
that shit'll grow you up really fast too, going in the military.
Yeah.
So like you now you're a young, strapping gentleman. You're a grown man at this point.
Exactly, bro.
And like, and it's crazy because moms, she might have still remembered, you know, the baby. You know, she might have still viewed you as her baby in that sense. You know what I mean? When it's like, no, mom, I'm a grown man this time. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But she viewed. But you know what though? I still love that. I love that part of the story where moms was the one that was like, listen, you can't be waking up screaming, here, hit this joint.
Yeah, you know, like it was weird. My mom's relationship was weird because, you know, like at one moment we're cool, we're chilling, you know, everything is good. You know, she even lives out here now, you know, like around the corner. Yeah,
that's beautiful because so she could be around the grandbabies, you know, and shit.
Yeah, you know, so, but I mean, you know, so yeah, I mean, went from like living with her to now like back living with my fucking pops. And like I was just kind of stagnant at that point. I kind of in a way went back to my old lifestyle of, you know, doing you know, little hood rat shit.
And now you got some little bit of money.
Like even more.
Now you got some little bit of money too.
More dangerous because now, you know, I got that military mindset behind me.
Yeah. Now you're a train killer.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
so
essentially.
I mean, I just needed, you know, then I started trying to find my way back, you know, I'm like, all right, like I need to start figuring out, like, you know, I need to start figuring out, you know, what I'm going to do with my life. My mom's, you know, she had moved out to Colorado. I ended up leaving my dad's and I started, you know, just kind of like rooming with some friends. Got sick and tired of that. I'm like, yo, I cannot keep fucking doing this. You know, renting with people for 6 months here, 6 months there. I dated this crazy bitch named Amy. Amy
shout out to the crazy bitch named Amy.
Up my life, fuck. You know, like bro, like I don't like I went to jail because like she like snitched and situations. It was all bad. Ruben, my cousin, ended up
Is this when he passed?
The one that passed. Yeah, he ended up taking the rap for me.
Man, shout out to Ruben, dog. You know what? He might have seen that. You know what I mean? He was probably like, bro, let me do this because you got a future,
bro. He literally said that. He literally we eating one day, in the chow hall, and he's like, yo, like, just so you know, like, this is what I'm gonna do, yada yada yada. I'm like, nah, like, don't, like, he's like, nah, like, I'm gonna do it. He's like, there's nothing that you can do about it because I go in before you.
Yeah. Damn, that's fucking noble as fuck.
Yeah, so then he rolled for me. I got out, ended up getting a damn good job with that shit, getting off my record.
Nice.
And then
because that would have fucked you for like 7 to 10 years type of shit on your resume. You know what I mean? And your background shit.
And honestly, all we got caught with was fucking weed.
Hey.
Like I look now, I'm like, bro, this shit's legal. Like I go to a store.
Yeah, and get weed.
Like, bro.
It's a wonderful time to be alive.
Yeah. So for all of you young heads out there that are smoking now, just know that there are some soldiers out there that we rode for y'all.
Yeah.
We rode for y'all.
We're trailblazers, bro. Like,
yeah,
pun intended.
We had the time for y'all.
Pun intended. We're trailblazers. Like, while you guys light up, you don't know about the many that became before you that had to fight for your right to light up. You feel me?
Exactly, bro. Exactly. So I mean, yeah, ended up with that. I ended up getting out, rapping at regional jail, and I got like this dope job.
Is this the Xfinity? Is this when you started working for?
Company.
Oh, so this is before
Xfinity. Dope.
This was before the Xfinity gig.
Yeah, this was before Xfinity. I was still in Virginia.
Because I was gonna say Xfinity is a West Coast thing, right?
What's up?
Because I know Xfinity is Xfinity nationwide. Because I know that's what we have out here in Cali.
Yeah, Xfinity nationwide. They all over.
Okay.
But yeah, no, like I worked there for like a hot minute. Left there. I had to help my mom with some shit. So I helped her through some hard times. Ended up getting sucked into her hard times. That shit sucked.
Yeah.
And then.
But you know what though, man, that makes you a great son though.
After that, like 2014.
Makes you a great son, bro, because you know what I'm saying? Like, you weren't gonna leave moms hanging, like, you know what I mean? Like,
nah, never.
I mean, same way she busted out the joint, right? And like and got you lit higher than giraffe neck as you quoted. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it's about that, and that's. I know that to all you playmakers that might live in a happy little home, you know what I'm saying? And you might think that sounds crazy, but that is fucking love. That's family values right there. That's having best interest. She had your best interest that was like, you don't need these pills, smoke this weed. And then at the same time, when she was going through her thing, you were there for her to be able to confide in you. Because God bless all our mothers, but they go through things too. You know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't perfect, even though we praise them as our heroes because they are. You know what I mean? They made us the men that we are. But it's like, you know what I mean? They're human too. They're not. They are women at the end of the day. They are sensitive and like they. But what makes them sensitive? Because they're sensitive, it makes them strong. You know what I mean? Like.
Exactly. My mom's definitely a strong woman, especially to put up with my shit.
Yeah, you ain't lying. Shout out to our moms. You feel me?
Yeah.
Jamaican. I'm out there. Shout out to our Jamaican moms, even Jamaicans. You feel me? Okay, so check this out.
Okay.
What up, little man? You feel me? Okay, so check this out. So. We're gonna take a quick intermission. I'm gonna go ahead and play a song off me and my man from Virginia. You know what I'm saying? My man Irv the Block. You know what I mean? We're gonna go ahead and play. We're gonna go ahead and throw one of these joints on. I'm gonna go take a piss and grab another beer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm gonna grab a beer.
Yeah. Let me go. Hold on. Let me go find this joint real quick. Let me throw some tunes on. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna take a quick intermission, and we're gonna pick up this story. You know what I'm saying? Because now Robbie J, the Admiral himself, he's back in the States. And spoiler alert, we're gonna take you along the journey. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna take you along the journey of now entrepreneurism. You know what I mean? And innovation. The second half of the story is all about innovation and entrepreneurism. You know what I mean? Hey
man.
Let's choose a track. Let's go with Summertime. Because you know what I'm saying? It's almost summer and we want to get our summer. You know what I mean?
Bogard, go hard, yeah, I push a line. Go get us in my crew, no sucker type. Out here eating, out here feasting like it's supper time. Drinking while we cue it up. And this evening we gon' do it up. I feel like we can't do enough. Been doing this here since he was young as fuck. Funk season, that's the summertime. But we all hogs, we don't run and hide. Jewels shining, yeah, we pumping white. Big up the Fresh Prince, this the summertime. Summertime, summertime. Summertime, summertime. Summertime. Far as I can remember, June, July, August through September. We gon' do whatever. It's like 90 outside's my favorite time of the year. The cooler is full with water and beer. The homies is here. My cousin just put the ribs on the grill. My auntie made grandma's secret potato salad. I'ma need a plate to go when I leave. Yes, indeed. I can't forget mom's barbecue jerk chicken wings. Got a in his fingers and his lips. Ain't trying to spill no barbecue sauce on my new fresh kicks. Ladies in they fresh fits. Summer dresses. Dudes rocking shorts, no shirts. Damn, look at mommy in the mini skirt. I'm just looking. I ain't touching. I'm a true gentleman in the summer fam. Any season, man. Summertime. 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 Summertime.
Summertime. Far as I can remember, June, July, August through September. We gon' do whatever. Yeah, that was Summertime off Firewater featuring yours truly, Bogard, Scott Free, and Irv the Block. You know what I'm saying? Available on all streaming platforms. Shout out to Prime One, produced the whole thing. Shout out to DJ Ready Rock. He got a few joints on there too. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? What's good, my brother? We back?
Yup.
Yeah.
Did I get it right on time?
Oh yeah, me too. You know what I'm saying? Hey, timing is impeccable, right? Timing is everything.
Impeccable.
And you know what? I feel like the stars are aligning. You know what I mean? I feel like, you know, I had this bar. I said, back when I was young, they said it's all about timing. Feel it's my time. All the stars are aligning. I'm a diamond in the rough. Couple cuts got me shining. This game you cannot cop on consignment. In the field, all we do is execute assignments. You feel me?
Nice.
You feel
I
me?
like it.
Hey, cause
Well,
that's both that's representation of what me and you is, dog. We diamonds in the rough. Go ahead and throw a couple cuts on them.
We up right now.
What's up?
I said we up right now.
Oh, we up, baby. We up, Admiral. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so now let's just get right back into it. You know what I'm saying? So now you're you're in the mainland. Hold on, let me make sure we're good real quick.
Yeah.
Yep. We're in the mainland, right? That's what they would call it. You know, islanders, they would call the states the mainland, right? So So now we're in the mainlands. Now you're in the States. So tell me about how you started that pilgrimage out of Virginia.
What?
How you began your pilgrimage out of Virginia again. Because now a quick recap.
$150 for a Greyhound ticket and a suitcase.
Okay.
Came out.
Shout out to Greyhound. Give me money.
Out for a hot minute. And then I ended up, me and my wife, we got a crib together.
Wait, okay, so wait. My bad. I was talking over you. So you jump on the Greyhound, and where'd you go first?
I moved to Colorado. I moved from Virginia to Colorado.
Okay.
And after staying with my dad for a little while, after shit with me, my mom fell apart. And then ended up moving back to help my mom out here in Colorado. Help her, with some things, with some bills. That was my first corporate America, real last gig.
Yeah, that was you were corporate Robbie at the time.
Yeah, there was no corporate Robbie at the time.
Yeah,
but I at this point in my life, I'm all right, I'm getting my shit together. No more hustling.
No more illegal hustling, at least.
Exactly, illegally, yeah.
Because we on the grind, B. We on the grind.
Yeah, back in VA, I was working in the music industry part time as a promoter. Nice. My very first company that I ever ran was Bad Influence ENT. It was an oxymoron. Bad Influence ENT.
I love it.
Yeah. And then came out here. Then I started working with No Sleep Entertainment. I ended up collabing with them, working with them.
Shout out.
Shout out Team No Sleep. They're out there. They're actually San Diego based. They're Diego based.
I had a song called Up All Night No Sleep, right? And the hook was basically up all night, no sleep, geeking. Up all night, no sleep, geeking. Hey, we do this every weekend, right?
Bro, we were doing it every weekend. I was working in the EDM industry.
Okay. Wait, you said
we were
EM?
Some
EM
major artists at a club that was out here called Raucous. And I went from doing
fucking way. I'm aware of Raucous. The label?
It's not a label.
Oh, okay.
Out here was a club. We had a club.
Okay.
Raucous.
Because Raucous, they're the ones that fucked with rest in peace Mac Miller and Wiz Khalifa early days. That was
Rostrum.
Rostrum. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I've had a few.
This is so good. I'm having a few right now, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, man. Fucking we was getting money, that way. I was also, still working in corporate America. So it was all love. But then I still, in the street still, bro.
Yeah. Hey, the street. Hey, it's just something embedded in us, bro.
Money, so I had to stop. I eventually, I had to stop. I had to change my life. So then, I ended up meeting my baby moms. One night after the club, she wasn't pregnant at the time. Probably,
if you mind, can I ask about that? So what was that like? How did can you paint that picture for the Playmakers when you met Mrs. Admiral? You know what I mean? Was it
my wife?
Yeah.
So actually it starts out, where still working in the music industry at this time. And we all know that world is crazy because that's rock and roll right there.
Oh yeah, and it's cutthroat as fuck. It's cutthroat as shit.
Cutthroat. Yeah. It's cutthroat. The lifestyle is crazy.
Oh yeah.
Especially when you're working with a lot of artists we were working with at the time fucking Loud Pack, Black Tiger, Sex Machine, all some of the biggest EDM acts and shit,
That's hard. So you were fucking with the festival scene even, huh?
Yeah, bro. We
that is paper. That's where the paper's at.
After that, after that whole scene, like I said, I met my baby moms one night after the club. She was not the greatest person. I should have. Playmakers, be careful who you guys lay down with and careful who you create a child with. gonna say that shit right here, right now.
Oh, so
Right?
this is this Mrs. Admiral or is this the other?
No,
Okay,
this is before.
oh, okay,
this
because
is leading up
I
to
didn't
that,
I didn't know if I
how
should.
me and her met.
I was gonna completely curve that because I didn't, I didn't know if that was something that you
No,
wanted to
fuck
touch on.
it, man.
Okay,
We out here, man. We tell us.
yeah. So this isn't the Mrs. Admiral story yet. Yes, I want to clarify for the Playmakers because you are happily married right now, and this is prior to this. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Yes, this is the crazy one.
She ended up, that shit did not work out. Ended up like knocking her up. And she had went fucking, loca, like esa loca.
Was she a Spanish woman?
Nah, she was a sister actually.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, well that's the same thing because Spanish women and sisters
they in my mind of building black excellence and that shit just did not work out in my favor.
But in you specifically, and to specify for you specifically, that wasn't it. Yeah. Okay, go on.
Yeah, no, man. I had this picture in my mind that I was trying to build, and it just did not go over well. She ended up disappearing with my daughter, and then popped back up, in my life because I had left Verizon. She saw she found out from friends in the city and shit out here in Colorado Springs said yo, Robbie's doing really well, that nigga blew up,
she got wind. She caught wind.
I left the music industry scene behind. All because of a wild night with DMT where I was like, I don't need to be around none of these fake ass people. Get me out of here now.
Hey, DMT will do that, bro. DMT will open your eye. And when I say eye, Playmakers, we talking about the third eye. That shit will make you see the universe and it'll make you also view yourself how the universe views you. You know what I mean? It makes you realize things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, So I left the music scene behind after a while night with the DNT, became a better man. I was like, I'm gonna take care of my daughter, Baby mom's goes crazy, she dips out, then pops back up in my life, money, asking for money and shit, yada yada yada. And I did it, got to see my daughter. Then she disappears again after, her getting with some new dude. Motherfucker looked just like me, except he got dreads. It's crazy.
And you're it's funny too because you're from DC where motherfuckers be dread rocking motherfuckers and you're not a dread rocking motherfucker.
Yeah, I was like, yo, what the fuck? And actually, he has the same name as me too. Actually, his name.
Yeah, so she went and got the doppelganger version of you.
Yeah, bro. I was we sat down for a dinner one time, right? And it was her mans, and me and my wife and my daughter, of course, and then my son, and it was crazy because my son was that's my sister, he started getting attached, so the same thing, history pretty much repeated itself, except it just happened to them, when they were younger, they got separated, pretty much because they were thick as thieves, they were rocking and rolling together whenever I had her, my daughter Liliana, she's now 3, then she ended up rocking off with this dude, disappearing again, right when I was about to fucking take her to court.
Damn.
She found out that I was she got that summons at her job, and she was like, new job, new house.
She was feeling away.
Oh yeah, bro. So
damn.
She disappeared, wasted money on a private investigator to find her. No one could fucking find her. And now I'm just, I started the Rumboyz to pretty much, I started because, yes, I do love sports, and yes, I love giving you guys fantasy football advice and all that stuff, but I started the deeper reason because my daughter's going to see me on the screen one day, she's going to see me and she's going to be like, yo, that's my dad.
Wow.
She's going to turn around, she's going to look at she's going
to be like, that's my pops right there.
Yeah, she's like, so you going to answer this question or what? So we out here, and I'm grinding. Everything that I've ever done that's ever made me successful, I've always done out of spite. Joining the military, I wanted to get away from mom. And I wanted to show I could be someone, I could make something of myself. I wanted to relate, with my dad, and establish a relationship with him. Have something in common with him. Show him up, I can do this, and I can, be better. I can better myself. It was always to prove something to myself, I could be a better person. I gotta be a better person, and I think now I'm in a comfortable situation, with that, with my wife. I met my wife through actually work when I first moved here back in 2015. We started off as friends. She actually hated my ass at first when we first met.
Hey.
And she actually knew my baby moms. She hated my fucking baby moms.
Wow.
Yeah. So and then she like kind of already knew everything, and like she knew like how shitty of a person my BM was, and.
No, okay, low key, that's beautiful because it's so hard to be caught in between a rock and a hard place, let alone two different baby moms, right? And like, fortunately, if I was to look at any positive, is that, your wife, she was aware of the type of character she was, so she knew you weren't lying or jawsing.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? To be like, nah, baby, I'm telling you, like she like, felt for you.
Even like I have like moments like I'll get depressed, like I look at pictures or like somebody will like just be like, hey, like saw your daughter today, like it's just still pop up and like around like meet your homies and shit, saw your daughter today and send me a picture. Like damn, like my girl getting big. It's like fuck, like I want to be able to see my kid. And I sometimes I would like randomly like message me like, yo, let me see my goddamn kid. And
yeah, like send me a picture. Like stop being so fucking shady. Like don't remove her father. Like this is blood. Like this is. You know what I mean?
Bro,
like
when I remember like recently, when Kobe passed, I had
oh man,
I messaged her and I was like, yo, like let me see my kid. Like come on. And she was like, I don't think that is for the best. She's like, I have things.
And let's be honest.
I don't need you.
Let's be honest. Like it's like, what the fuck do you know what's best, homegirl? Like
yeah.
And she said the key word in what she said was I think. It's like we don't deal in think. We know, and you obviously don't know what's best. So don't say you think this is not best. Like.
Yeah,
it's frustrating to me
because like I came into with me and my wife, like I came into a relationship with the kid, and then she came into with my oldest son, Jeremiah.
Yeah.
And like when we got together, he was like 2 going on 3. And yeah, I mean, me and her, we've been together, pretty much like his whole life, and like his dad like walked out of his life, so I stepped in and I was like, yo,
I'm here, bro.
Here for both.
Damn, that's.
Yeah,
I can't lie. Like
I'm an amazing follow with them, bro. Like you see me and my son. Like,
yeah, bro. Like that's. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I like to believe I'm a reflection of who I surround myself with, playmakers, and like when I'm around Robbie J, I'm in good company because here's another motherfucker is just hands down. He's just doing his thing as a father, and like. I mean, hopefully one day your baby moms hears this shit or sees this episode and it's like, you know what I mean? Because to see where you're coming from, that how heartfelt and what kind of heartache that she causes you right now because of this shit. You know what I mean? Like, and you know what, dog? Like, I'm not.
But what it has done is pushed me to become successful, bro. Like like going to work, like when I was working in corporate America, when I was working at Xfinity, like going to work every day with that chip on your shoulder, like like one, you gotta provide, 2, like I want to have money, for her for the future, yada yada. Like that shit made me number 1 on the sales floor. Like I was the shit. Like you called in, I hooked you up like bah, 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 and I told you why you needed to explain, told you value, da 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 da. When I started Rumboyz, Fantasy Network, like bro, like. You see, I come on every day, like I got that fire, and and I'm dropping my takes, and I come prepared. People that follow me on Twitter, y'all know I don't ever put out no false press. I don't get caught up in no fake stories. I always fact check. Like I put in 2 hours worth of watching film a day. I've interviewed 40 different NFL rookies. I run a team of writers.
Talk that shit, Robbie.
Creators.
Talk that shit.
Shit that no one can fucking tell me. And the reason why I can sit back and I can fucking say that is because I'm a grown ass man that stands on his own fucking 2.
Right? Okay, so now let's, I mean, not quite back up a little bit in the story, but so tell me, like, because I know you actually check us out, Playmakers, on episode 50 of the Real Fantasy Playmakers. he kind of touched on the origin story of the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. So let's get more into detail. So I know it was a party that was going on, right? So by this time you're already with your wife currently, right?
Hell yeah. Me and Shauna, we together.
Right. So you're at this party.
Me and the wife, we together.
All the homies is there.
And at this point in time, I have now like an amazing group of friends, a really healthy like support system around me. At this time, I'm also now getting fed up with corporate America, and I'm like, man, like, again, I need to feel my entrepreneurial spirit. In corporate America, had taught me, kind of the ways of how it worked. So I was like, why am I sitting back? Like, to me, the dumbest thing was, why am I sitting back making someone else? And remind you, I'm the number one person on the sales floor. Me as one person, I am generating this company $1.4 million in revenue.
Ooh! Go repeat that again. Say that one more time.
A quarter. 1.4 million a fucking quarter. They are making billions off my back.
Woo! That's damn near 1.5 M's a quarter. So we're talking about upwards to almost like 6.5 M's a year.
Yeah, and like I said, you call into Xfinity, and if you get me, you're leaving with something.
Yeah.
You're leaving with
something. I would be so
hot
hot if all I was calling for was like, what I'm saying, I just need an extra cable. Okay, hold on. Let me patch you into our lead salesman, Robbie. Yes, hello, Bogard. This is Robbie. Hey, and then next thing you know, I'm leaving with a whole new setup. You feel me?
And I'm gonna make friend. I'm gonna be your friend the whole time, bro. I'm gonna be your friend the whole time.
Yeah.
Another piece of that backstory. I'm one day while I'm working at Xfinity, while I was working, I get a call. Like, this is during the time, like, I'm getting frustrated, like, towards, like, by end of the time there. I worked there for 2 years. And I get a call, and it's this athlete, Ricky Lopez Espin. He plays soccer.
Shout out to Ricky Lopez.
Bro, so he calls in, and he's like, hey, I'm getting traded. Or I have to disconnect my account.
And this is football. This is soccer. He was just
acting kind of like weird, like on the call, not like necessarily weird, but super chill. I was like, all right, this dude is clearly somebody, So I Googled him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I Googled him, to be honest.
Uncle Google will tell us.
Hey, I'm like, what do you do for a living? And he is like, I'm a soccer player. He's like, I'm a professional soccer player. I'm like, oh, word.
Hey, soccer players get the bag, B.
So, and I don't know soccer like that. What's up?
No, I was saying soccer players get the bag, too.
Oh, they do, bro. They do.
Yeah.
He was so I Googled him really quick because, I'm like, all right, I'm not about to sit back and look like a dumbass because, at this time, I'm already cooking up Rumboyz,
Yeah.
We're already a couple of episodes in. So I'm like, I see here, I started dropping his stats. I can't remember right now. And I was like,
but that's the best when you're a soccer player. You're like, oh shit, okay, it was a way to feed the ego in a positive way. You know what I mean?
Well, I also use it as an on the job training experience. I want to see if I can interview athletes. Do I have the capability?
Wow.
So I fucking sat there.
Oh my god!
Xfinity call.
I didn't realize the magnitude of that. I didn't realize the magnitude of what you were saying right now. This is the precursor to you being Robbie J, the sports analysis, Robbie J, the broadcaster, Robbie J, the sports journalist,
the interviewer. Yeah,
yes.
This shit. So I'm sitting there, I'm asking questions back and forth, and talk about, what is it like, the emotions, getting traded, yada, yada, yada. By the time I get done, I've now had, a fucking, 5-10 minute interview with dude on the phone. And it sucks that I couldn't record that, but I ended up.
But it definitely was recorded, though, for quality purposes, right?
Yeah, because it's recorded for quality purposes,
exactly.
so I could lose my job.
Exactly.
So he's like, hey, give me a follow on Instagram. He was like, and like, you know, we'll talk.
Yeah.
I never ended up, like, I ended up adding him, and like we talked. He's liked my story and stuff like that. I just never booked the guy. I need to get him.
Wow.
I just don't
Hold
know
on.
what I'm
What's
gonna
his
talk about.
name again?
I don't know what I'm gonna talk about. Like
No,
we're gonna
you know,
talk about
I know
soccer.
exactly
Like,
what
I
you're
don't
gonna
have a
talk
soccer
about.
fan base, really, you know.
I know exactly what the conversation's gonna sound like. It's gonna be one of those moments where you're like, bruh, like, little do you know that when you called in, you know, the universe, it made no mistake. Like, that conversation you had was a precursor to what you're doing right now. Like,
Now,
yeah, bro.
right now, bro. Yeah, so the way I ended up leaving that job is because when we started Rumboyz, you know, the first buildup of the fan base was like people in the office.
Yeah.
You know, so like the first like couple hundred subs was like people in the office, and like people were like, yo, like saw you and Ty's show last night, like that shit was badass. Like, you know, people coming up to me and like
shout out to Ty
like
Boogie,
dapping me up, like, yo, like getting it, you know, like keep going, bro.
Yeah. It feels good too, right? When people are in your corner, they're rooting for you. They're like, "Get up out of here, man!" You know what I'm saying? We want to see you do good. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. The management ended up finding out. Leadership ended up finding out. They're like, you know, hey, you know, you need to make a decision. Like, you know, because we're NBC, we're Comcast, you know, Xfinity, NBC, Universal.
And you're
like,
dabbling in the YouTube.
We produce content. Like, which one are you gonna pick? And I was like, fuck you.
Bro, I'm putting my money on Robbie J.
What's up?
No, you putting the money on Robbie J. You feel me?
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna bet on myself. I'm like, if I'm making you all of this goddamn money, and all these dumbasses in this office, you know, excuse me, because I had like some amazing coworkers, so I don't mean it like that.
But yeah, figuratively speaking.
Yeah, but I mean, y'all can sit here and y'all can work for the man, but I gotta do me. Like, you know, I gotta do me. So, you know, and that's what I ended up doing, bro. I ended up, you know, doing Robbie, and it's turned out amazing. You know, from that moment, day that I walked out of the office, you know.
Okay,
I've been blessed.
I want to get a little specific, right? Because on episode 50 of the Real Fantasy Playmakers, you know what I mean, we kept it like, you know, specific to the Rumboyz Fantasy Net origin story. So, and I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, if my recollection is correct or not. Shout out to Ronaldo, right?
Yeah, the homie Ray.
Yeah, the homie Ray, and like you guys were. I understand you guys were at like a house party. It was yanking.
Yeah. And we was at a house party at the homie Ty Boogie's crib.
Yup, shout out to Ty Boogie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, his old crib that he had out here in Colorado Springs.
So like you guys are just watching. Do you remember what sports you guys were watching at the time? Was it a football Sunday? Like what was going down?
It was football. It was football. His fucking Bears was on. We got into like a heated ass debate, and then next thing,
and it was the homie Ray.
Like all the eyes like at the party like went from like watching the game or like playing beer pong, people being on their phones like watching us two fucking argue back and forth.
Love it. And Ray was the guy who was like, "Bro, y'all just need to fuck around and have a show already."
Yeah, he was like, yo, just exactly what you said. Yo, this is fucking better than First Take, like chuckling, laughing, like his laugh is like.
Did the lightning strike right then and there?
Things.
Did the lightning strike right then and there? Were you like, ding, like light bulb? Where you were like, oh shit.
Yeah, and I was like, me and him, we were like both like fucking 6 shots, and like we were like half a bottle already down, like, you know, so. We decided, we were like, yo, this is the name. Like, we're the Rumboyz, dog. Because, like, that was all that we were drinking at the time. Like, that's all that we ever did.
And you are Jamaican. You are of Jamaican descent, so it's in your blood.
Yeah, and I'm Jamaican, like, you know. But, like Ty, he, part of it was, like, Ty, he had on top of his cabinets, like, he had, like, the spacing from his cabinets to, like his ceiling, you know, right, in his kitchen. And it was just rum bottles.
Nice.
Rum bottles. You know, there'd be some other things, but like everything was rum. Like for the most part, it was just. Bro, that's what he always drank.
I grew up a Big Tech 9 fan, and like we used to drink he called it caribou.
Caribou.
Yep. And bro, like,
Yep.
you know, like my background in interviewing or whatever you want to call this, journalism, because I'm not a journalist, but you know, my background is I used to work for.
It is.
I worked for hell yeah, I'll wear the hat. Right, but my background, I worked for a magazine, an online magazine called Worldwide West Side, and you know, I got to interview and party with Tech Nine, and like I remember telling him, bro, when I was a teenager, bro, we used to drink 151, and we would mix it with Malibu and pineapple juice, because that was his joint. You know what I mean? And like,
Yeah.
bro, like, you know,
He comes
Bacardi.
out here to Colorado all the time, bro. He's out here all the time.
Oh yeah, bro, he's everywhere, bro. Like especially because, you know, Colorado's considered like, you know, West Coast ish. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
When he goes on a tour in the West Coast, he'll go on like a 41, 42 stop tour, where like 42 different dates, and it'll be all throughout the West Coast. You know what I mean? And like, he's incredible, bro. Like an incredible human being. Like one of my influences, like in me as far as music. Maybe not my style wise, but like just someone influential in my life. So like being able to meet him and party with him and like, you know, have an in-depth interview, like it was like, you know, just it was like meeting one of my heroes, and he was hella cool. You know what I mean? Like it's a bitch when you meet people and they're dickheads. Like that was not Tech Nina. You know what I mean?
Hold up.
Yeah,
My
no,
audio
dude,
cut out.
no, all good. You know what I mean?
There we go. I got you back.
Yeah, bro. And like, you know, just one, you know, Bacardi, like I love being part of the Rumboyz, because that was my drink of choice for a good, like, you know, 10, 15 years of my first drinking career. You know what I mean? Like
Bro, it's crazy because before I used to like drink like you know like gin, like I was heavy on like that Bombay and lemonade flow, you know.
Oh yeah, Bombay, give me
like,
money.
Yeah, but then,
I used to love the
blue.
blue. I used to fuck with blue
like,
sapphire.
Rum just flow through me.
I used to fuck with sapphire, Bombay sapphire. Yeah, the blue bottle.
Yup, that sapphire gin, bro. Yeah, man. Occasionally, I'll pick that shit up. But I mean, you know,
but you know what though?
Day,
I bet you
I have a bottle somewhere. Like you know, like I have one somewhere. Or some rum.
Okay, so now walk the Playmakers through that, how that conversation was like with you and Ty Buggs, because you did tell me Ty Buggs was another co-founder, right? One of the originals, right?
Yeah, so yeah, he was my co-CEO, you know, originally, you know, before he chose to move back to Chicago.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, he was young too, you know, he was young as well.
Oh, so he's younger than you.
You know, being an entrepreneur, being an entrepreneur and being young, like there's so many distractions when you're young. The distractions are different when you're young.
But see,
you know?
but what's fortunate for you is, you know, going back to you know, the timeline that we've intricately painted. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you came back from the military, you weren't playing with the game. You know, you were a grown man. Like you had been through some shit where like you already knew the value of dedication. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, like I knew, and also like being in the music industry as well, like, you know, I knew what it was going to take. And I knew that I had to, like, I already had a serious background in marketing. Yeah. You know, so I was already well equipped, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so what was that like? You was just like, yo, Ty, we finna do this thing. You know what I mean?
So we were out on his back porch, you know, following, you know, the debate and shit, you know, after, you know, playing a couple rounds of beer pong and shit like that.
Yeah, because his house was the central, right?
This fat ass Cuban.
His house was the central of said beer pong tournaments and shit, right?
Yeah, bro. Like that's where everything went down.
So his spot was the kicking spot.
House.
Social house. Okay, I like that. Same shit.
Yeah. You know, like it was crazy. Those were good times. That was actually where the very first Rumboyz Studios was, like before it became like here, like with the green screen and everything. Before y'all go back, y'all watch your old content. Like we were on like this hairy ass fucking dog.
Yeah. I went and did my due diligence. You guys had the little shag jump off.
Yeah, bro.
That's fucking tight. So essentially, it's two rum drinking compadres smoking some good. You know what I mean? Sitting on the shag couch, and so like, tell me about some of the first episodes. Like, were you already on game, like writing the show sheets, or did you guys just hit record and shoot the shit?
We used to write. Damn, it used to be right over here, but we used to write on like this fucking whiteboard, bro. Like I would type the script up on my phone, like while I was at work. You know, like in between calls, or sometimes even during calls. Like I'd be sitting there telling you shit, and I'm still sitting here typing up fucking fantasy stats, like,
right?
You know, because I'm that good, and I also have ADD, ADHD, so like, you know, I can focus on two things at once. Like it's no problem.
Hey, you know what I call ADHD? I call it high def. You know what I mean? He was on a high definition. You know what I'm saying? Like
I say that I'm a fucking X-Men. Honestly, I tell people I'm an X-Men.
Oh yeah, you mean we are mutants, bro? We're fucking, bro. We are the children of the atom. You know what I mean?
Big facts. So no, man. Like I used to write the script on my phone. You know, the same thing I do with you guys. I screenshot it, send it to him. And then, you know, he'd either have it written by the time I got there, or either he'd just not have anything written down at all. Like I'm like, you didn't transfer it over, and he'd be like, "I like till you get here, bro.
Put it on the whiteboard."
He's like,
I love that.
For like 5 minutes, like, who's gonna write on the whiteboard? Then like he'd see my handwriting, he'd be like, "All right, fuck it, never mind, I'll do it."
Yeah. No, but everyone plays their part though, right? Especially in the early stages where it's like, because you guys were essentially just a 2-man operation, right? At the time.
Yeah, we were just a 2-man operation. I mean, and then we had our producer at the time, Baby T.
Shout out to Baby T.
Tim. And then he kind of like, you know, got a little salty and shit. And
it happens
like,
early.
It's not that he got it. When we evolved to doing the live streams, you know, and then once I kind of learned how to do the editing and shit myself, it was like,
it was kind of unnecessary, right? To deal with someone that wasn't like engulfed in it or like dedicated.
Yeah. I mean, at that time, like we weren't bringing in like fucking like loads of money, so it's like, bro, like you're asking for X amount of dollars for your time, and it's like we're still going down the tunnel. We haven't reached the light like
yet.
I'm still investing in this. Like I'm still taking my work checks, like investing in this, like, you know. So I mean.
I'm actually, you know, I am, you know, on the sound engineering side, so I'm interested in the logistics of everything. What was the setup like? Like the primitive setup of the early Rumboyz days? Like what would?
Oh my gosh, dude! So we're talking. So at first, it evolved. It went from just, you know, a laptop. With no mic to a laptop and a Bellinger mic setup.
Ooh, shout out to Bellinger, give me money.
Yeah. Then I went from that to running a Yeti.
Yep. Yeti, give me money.
YouTube to now getting a second laptop to being on YouTube and Sportscaster.
I legit have a Bellinger just hanging out right there. I legit have some Yetis. You know what I mean? My favorite is Audio Technica, because that's just what I always worked with over the years. But yes, because bro, like I love that side. I'm kind of a stickler for, like, you know, for that. I'm a nerd in that sense. I love the logistics. Okay, go on.
Yeah, no, dude. I need to get a new mic. Well, at first I'm gonna just get a new cord, but I'm gonna get a new mic as well though, because I want to just get a better quality. I like the Yeti Blackout, but I want to get a better one. But I mean, no, like at that time, like I'm like, yo, bro, like I'm still like invested in this shit, you know, like we're still launching, like
there's like no one should have their hand out, essentially, right here at this moment in time. No one should have their hand out. Everyone should have their sleeves rolled up. Even everyone, it's time to put in work right here. You know what I mean? Yeah, no, big facts. I mean, now we got a little something. Yeah,
I mean,
you can kick your feet up a little bit
on the staff.
Yeah,
I'm like, hey, like you know, I can cut you a check. I'm like, nope, keep it, reinvest it. Let's go. I'm ready.
Yes,
like, our army is crazy. Our army is fucking insane.
I love being a part of it too. Okay, go on. Hold on. I don't want to spoil the story.
Hell yeah, no, exactly. No, you with the fam, bro. You with the Rum fam. So I mean, no, like. like that's it. That it's just crazy back then. I mean, but no, the premise setup was like it went from that. Then it went from when Tim came into the picture to a Rebel T30 camera. With different lenses and shit, and fucking studio box lights, and honestly, that time frame honestly prepared us for the rookie interviews that we did in Los Angeles.
Because the on the fly setup is important when you're on the road, and you know what I'm saying, and you have to move on the fly. You know what I mean? So you had these are the steps that enabled you to be prepared for the in the field action. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I mean, rolling then, and also staying up, editing, because like back then we were only doing uploads, we weren't doing lives, so staying up, doing all of the video editing, doing all the audio editing.
Yeah, that's a lot of work, bro.
Back then it was so beautiful. It was organic. I mean, but then we also had to find a way to streamline the process and like drop more content, because we were only dropping content like once a week, twice a week.
Because of the editing process too. It kind of hinders you. It's like you have to dedicate X amount of hours to editing, but like because going live is just like it's really just the setup process, right? And then you hit that button and we on.
Yeah, I can set up. I pre-setuping a live. Between like doing all the metadata, all the marketing, putting out all the social media. I mean, yeah, that part's an all-day process. But I mean, yeah, once I get all that shit set up, I can set up a live in like 2 hours. An hour, 2 hours.
Wow.
15 minutes sometimes, even depending on what I'm doing.
So in this series, right, in the Playmaker AF series, I like to point out things that the playmakers need to be aware of. I want you to explain to them the importance of understanding metadata, because that correlates with algorithm, driven stats. And like, can you explain that to them a little bit? And I'm while you're doing that, I'm gonna run up this chicken upstairs real quick.
No worries.
Because metadata is. This shit is where it gets intricate. Like, this is another one of those gems that I need the playmakers to be aware about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so in terms of metadata, metadata is important because it ties into your marketing. That's how people can discover you and people can find you. Every time that you drop a hashtag on the internet, that is essentially metadata. That is the way that people can discover you, or find via what you're talking about. In many scenarios, it lets people know what your video is about or what your content is about, so that they can come on, click it, and want to be interested in it. It's how people essentially discover you, and it's a bitch to set up, to be honest. It really is. Bogard ran to go get some chicken, I think he said, or he went to go flip some chicken. I don't know. But yeah, make sure you guys check out Rumboyz.com. Shouts to the GMM Network. Bogard having me on his show. We get into it. We get into it out here.
Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? I had to run this chicken up real quick one time. You know what I'm saying? We got the okay. So back to what you're saying about the metadata, right? Because that's important too. Like when I'm putting out music, like what I'm saying, like all the names that are involved, like whether it's a producer or the artist or the title of the album or the all these things need a match, because when you search these things, the metadata is what helps the consumer or the viewer, the listener, what have you. That's what helps locate.
Them discover you.
Exactly.
It's what establishes new consumers, new audience.
Yes. Okay, so because that's the one thing that's low key, like when you're running an independent operation like the Rumboyz Fantasy Network is, and you're trying to work towards becoming corporate Robbie again in that sense, but only in this time around it's about the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. You know what I mean? So like handling all those little intricate parts and moving pieces, you know what I mean, and being the one brain that stayed dedicated to it, because it is one thing to just hit record and then everyone just talks, right? It is podcasting, and that's what, for the most part, all you playmakers out there, you think that's just all it is. It's just, yo, we're doing a podcast.
It's really not.
It's really not.
Like in order for it to be successful, and in order for it to really blow, for it to be something that sponsors want to fuck with, it's got to be organic. First off, and you have to be a marketable person. People gotta like you. People gotta. You have to have appeal. What you're saying, and appreciate what you're doing. I for one appreciate my audience, because they're a reason why I get up and I do this every single day.
And check this out, Playmakers. For all you Playmakers and all the Rumboyz and girls out there listening to this, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the same way he approached me, the Admiral himself. He was like, I think my audience will fuck with your content. You know what I mean? And like, that came from understanding his audience already, his core audience. What you already had a grasp on. And so like, and I, on air, here live, or not necessarily live, but right here on the Fantasy Playmakers, or I'm sorry, Playmaker as fuck. I want to thank you, bro, because your understanding of your core audience, you didn't just take a shot out on me in that sense. You know what I mean? You didn't just go out on a whim. You were like, this dude, according to my data and according to the feel you got for me, pause, right? You were like, you will fit right in. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and you do.
Thank you. I love it, man.
I mean, and I take what we do very, very, very seriously.
Oh yeah.
2,721 or 2,534 on Instagram. That, depending on content from us,
and counting.
3,142 on Twitter, depending on us,
and
on
counting.
YouTube, 2,013 people depending on us,
and counting. You know what I'm saying? Like, the growth is exponential. I want to say when you guys brought me in, bro, which was roughly about 8 weeks ago now. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was about we were already in contacts like a month prior, essentially, before we actually worked together. And I've seen, like, you guys went, I think at the time I want to say it was like 13 or maybe between 13 and 1,600 on YouTube. So like, you know what I mean? And that shit just kept boom, 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 just the, ding, ling, 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 like a goddamn slot machine. Like, motherfucker done hit. And like, I was just watching this thing grow exponentially. Don't ask me to spell that word, by the way, right?
It's all love, man. It's all love. Nah, bro.
I love being a part of it, and it's inspiring to me as a content creator. So, okay, that's one thing I forgot to mention in the intro. He's a content creator. He's a journeyman. He's a journalist. I had that all. I write in my head. Oddly enough.
I do the same thing, brother. All good.
Yeah,
all good.
right. So like, I definitely missed that part, because you as a content creator are one of the most inspiring that I've ever encountered. Like, and let alone get to work with close knit, because you said something that resonated with me. You were like, I'm like Joe Rogan / Pat McAfee.
So I was spitting. I was dropping some bars.
Yeah.
In the middle of one of our shows, just like a chill session. I was doing like a seafood broil. I think it was.
No, I remember that.
I was like doing up ribs. Yeah, something like that. We were just talking fantasy sports, and I was like, first off, I mean, if you're gonna say that you're fantasy rap, you gotta first off, come on someone's show and rap.
I love that. I love that sublime right there. That's a sublime. I love that.
So I said, you already know that the end has come. I'm Joe Rogan, Pat McAfee. McAfee fantasy football is all wrapped in one, and it's already done. Now the sun has already returned and come. Like, I was like, just flowing, like, So
bruh, like, okay, how about this, Playmakers? Check this out. I'm always and forever gonna look back on the apocalypse, and I hope we're gonna be able to look back on it one day. Like, this isn't just how the life is now. Like, I know one day, or I have faith one day that things will go back to maybe not quite normal, but closer to what we used to, right? And like, I will be able to
maybe not daps and hugs status, but
Yes, but we're gonna get back to social gatherings and stuff like that, right? Maybe motherfuckers will be rocking masks, like when you go to a football game, maybe they'll be giving away masks now, like
everybody's gonna be looking like a fucking
a goddamn surgeon or a ninja
character.
Yeah, and so I'm always gonna remember looking back on the apocalypse where I was able to watch one Robbie J, the Admiral himself, where it was you were finding ways to adapt and continue to put out content. Like, you definitely 100%, fuck you, Tory Lanez, my man Robbie J created quarantine radio. You might not have.
I did.
Yes, bro. Because and guess what you were doing? You're whipping up dinner. Like, look, tonight we're gonna got some ribs. See, what we did right here is we done defrosted it all the way completely. We got all the membrane out. Like, you were just breaking it down the same way you would break down fantasy analysis. Only you're making ribs. You know what I mean?
An analytical motherfucker.
Yes, and then then you double that with the seafood boil, and I'm from San Jose, California, where we have boils like every corner there's a boil. You know what I mean? That's a thing. That's a place of gathering where you got the big tables. They put the white paper out. You know what I'm saying? The parchment sheets. And then, they just bring you out the buckets of the boils, and you just go to town, and everyone drinks. And that was just a good old time, you know what I mean? It was a piece of home for me watching you do that, because it was dang, I miss boils. You know what I mean? I miss going, you know what I mean? I'm in the apocalypse, goddammit. I'm fuck, I'm at home.
I remember.
Right? I remember. Right? Bro, you were, okay, side note, there was a funny moment. You're answering fantasy questions, right? You got the boil, and you're like, all right, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and check on this boil. You lift the lid, and the steam blasts you in the face, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh shit! And I was like, dang, that's. I wasn't even laughing at you. I was laughing with you, because you were like, fucking, this is what live is about. You know what I mean? You can't edit that out. You're in real time. You know what I mean? Whipping up dinner as a father figure, as a husband. You know what I mean? And then also coupling that simultaneously with your high def that you would call it. You're answering these fantasy questions. You know what I mean? To the likes of me and the rest of the Rumboyz and girls. You know what I mean? And I love that, bro. And I was like, this guy finds ways to innovate. It don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. We did the beer pong tournament last week.
Right?
That was lit. And I think that people are honestly respecting it right now, because they're they are really keeping us entertained. They are really coming up with ways. We had the mock all night. The mock series was fucking
mock
dumb,
all
bro.
night. Yeah. Bro, I was so fucked. Bro, let me share something with you. So we do the Rumboyz After Dark. You know what I mean? Shout out to Justin from Clock Management. Shout out to Miles, the Fantasy Peacock. Shout out to J Love. You know what I'm saying? Even shout out Jemo the Icon. You know what I mean? But we were.
Jemo, yeah, he's with the crew now. He's actually with us now.
And so we do Rumboyz After Dark, and then the next day we got the draft. And bro, so I'm power drinking because I'm with the Rumboyz, you know what I mean? I'm power drinking two nights in a row.
So here's the thing. So this weekend is different. We actually have the draft starting tomorrow. So we'll be live tomorrow. And then following the draft, we go right into Friday night we're doing the draft again, so we don't have Rumboyz After Dark.
Yeah.
So this week,
but for the Playmakers, be sure to go to Rumboyz Fantasy Network on YouTube, subscribe, and tune in for the Rum Report. Tune in to the Rumboyz After Dark, and tune into everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, but go on.
But no, yeah. So this weekend, I mean, we got the NFL draft. This is our busiest time of the year. This damn thing right here next to me, it does not stop going off. Bro, especially for those of you guys that follow Rumboyz on Twitter, like, you know, I'm always dropping the news. I'm always up with it. It's crazy. This is a 24/7, 365 job.
Like, it's like gladiator shit, bro. You're like a gladiator. You're always out there competing. You're always fighting for your life. You're always, you know what I mean? Like, because if not, it's roll or be rolled on, essentially.
Exactly. Like in this industry, in this industry, you know, you gotta. It's about being in people's face. It's about trying to become a household name in a way, and it's about also being a source of being reliable. I have people that tell me straight up, they're like, I'll listen to you before I listen to reporter X, Y, and Z.
That's true. Listen, how about this? I tuned into the Rum Report yesterday, and the only news I was aware of was the Gronk news. I wasn't aware of shit else, and like, you know, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna tune into the Rum Report. You know what I mean? Like, because they're gonna keep me updated on all the isms. It's my source for any and all isms. You know what I mean,
bro? We talk about things. There have, especially during this quarantine period, the big networks have gotten so dull and so boring that they will take our takes. We literally were the first ones to bring up that Brady Jordan debate on air.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it became a thing.
And literally the next day, like a week later, we see freaking Stephen A. and Max Kellerman having the damn debate on First Take. I was pissed, bro. I was pissed.
Side note, who do you think, I should have asked this to Jake, who do you think wins in a fight, Stephen A. or Max?
Max.
Oh, word.
Have you seen Stephen A?
Stephen A. is not a fighter, huh? He's a talker, huh?
No, bro. Stephen A. posted a video of him.
Oh, I seen that. This guy has no. Oh yeah, he has no form whatsoever.
No.
Yeah, you're right.
Stephen A. ain't fucking nowhere.
Max.
You know, he always talks about growing up in New York. I think Stephen A. got beat up growing up in New York. Honestly, man.
Well, because he's from Philly originally too, right? No. He only came up in the Philly scene as far as journalism.
Yeah, in terms of journalism, yeah bro.
Oh shit! Yeah. I'm sorry, Stephen A. Smith. Max got that ass.
Y'all, for all y'all sports fans out there, like you know, and fantasy football fans, I mean, you know, fuck with the underground scene. You know, check out GMM, check out Clock Management, check out Rumboyz Fantasy Network.
Yeah,
you know,
and because we're not filtered in that sense, like. You know, like I remember when I first got in. Okay, that's another question I'm going to ask you. But when I first got into fantasy football, like it was 2013, and I had shout out to my man Pootie. You know what I mean? Pootie. It was like week 8. I think he was like 2 and no, it was week 6. He was 2-4, and it was a $50 league. And he was like, "Hey, bro, you want to take over my team?" And it was an 8-man league. Right, so it wasn't nothing crazy.
Easy money.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, but I ain't never played, but I was a gambling motherfucker, so I knew my sports,
yeah.
Right? But I'm like, so you mean to tell me, like he's explaining fantasy football to me, right? And I'm like, so wait, so you mean to tell me I could be at home, I'm still gambling the same way I would gamble on sports, but I got this team now, and I can watch these other players and root for them? And he's like, yes, bro. And he's like, just get this up off me. Because, you know, he just wanted out. So I took it over and I took it down. And I shot him a cut. And then that was it. It was on. And I remember I went on a mission. Like, now I'm trying to because, you know, that's a different game. Like, you know, all my older cousins and my homies that are bookies, they would lace me on like under-overs and spread picks and shit like that, right? But fantasy football is a different ball game. You know what I mean? And
fantasy football is a completely different ball game.
Oh yeah, you know what I mean? Because now you got to know personnel, you got to know systems, you got to know, you got to know coverages, you got to know, you know what I mean? Like just things that make you a sharper fantasy enthusiast. You got to know, you know, run versus pass ratios. You know what I mean? Whether I'm going to look at a running back on this team, but he's on a pass heavy offense, or if I'm going to look at a receiver on a low pass volume offense. You know what I mean? Like where it's like I was able to,
bro. the idea of, what made me become a fantasy analyst was like, so wait, not only can I prove that I'm a badass fucking fantasy football player against like my friends and all my homies all across.
Now you can help people.
But you mean to tell me there's the ability for me to compete against other fantasy analysts and give them the business?
Give them the business.
I'm creating a
fantasy analysts. Give me money.
Like, I'm the type of person you can never give an excuse to compete. Like, giving me an excuse to compete is just crazy.
Bro, like if it wasn't for a crazy Canadian on a loophole, you would have took down that goddamn beer pong tournament too, right? Because like,
yeah, bro,
fucking crazy Danny, right? That Canadian guy, he was funny as fuck. But like, he didn't know the American style rules, so you guys just kept letting him slide on things, and like. So he kind of...
Bro, and then his elbows...
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, he got it on several technicalities, and like, bro, you had that thing in sight. Like, and I'm just using this as an example, Playmakers. Like, it was a goddamn beer pong tournament, but this motherfucker was like, my life's on the line. Like, you know what I mean? And not saying that, like, you died when you lost, but like, that's the type of drive you have. You know what I mean? Like, bruh... I don't care what it is. Don't give me the excuse. What, are we spitting the farthest? Beat that, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, are we pissing the farthest? Like, it don't matter what the fuck it is. If there's a competition to be had, Robbie J is in the mix.
Exactly. Yes. Like, I'm so.
I legit spit in my studio. Go on.
Oh no! What was that?
Oh no! I was like, it don't matter if we're spitting for distance, right? And I legit spit. I'm like,
oh my gosh!
I got caught up in the moment.
I'm so bad with my competitive nature, my competitive ways. I mean, but at the same time, it's what fuels me, and it's what created this company. It's the reason why I'm a great father. I want to be a better father than my fathers were. I want to be a better parent than my parents were. Competition is just something that fuels me. I'm natural. That's in my genetic makeup. That's in my build.
Yeah, I remember one time we were texting back and forth, and I was like. I was texting you the show sheet of the episode I did with Jake. Yeah, and check us out, Playmakers. Check out episode 58 of the Real Fantasy Playmakers, featuring head of the Rumboyz combat department, our man, the bearded one, Jake. Our man, Post Malone's estranged brother, right? But
yo, Jake,
he hella looks like him.
Better now.
Oh yeah, and but in that episode, we talked about us. The Rumboyz versus Joe Rogan and his crew versus Pat McAfee and them. And, I referenced this to say that, like, when I was texting you the idea of the show sheet, right? You go, yeah, man, that's great, man. He's going to enjoy that. And I go, man, I'm ready to take on the entire world running behind the Admiral himself. And then you said the illest shit to me. You're like, bro, we're all side by side. You were like,
yep.
We're all side by side, bro. And like, I fucking love that because the humility of it all, you know what I mean? Like, even now getting more in depth in the story and like, I'm pretty well aware of the story because we've had candid conversations, but I'm so happy we got to share this with the Playmakers, you know what I mean? Because this is a story. We're not even treating this like a eulogy at all by any means. This is not a death. We're not dead. We're still alive. I just want to give the flowers. I want to give people their flowers while they can smell it. You know what I mean? Or as Noriega, shout out to Noriega, he would say, I want to give them their trees while they can inhale it. You know what I mean?
Hey, bars.
Right? And like, I just, credit is where it's due. And like, this is the type of series where like, I want it to be inspirational and I want it to be motivational. And like, you're like, dog, watch when you listen to this back, bro. And you're like, you know what I mean? Because I know we've probably missed a few nooks and crannies, but like, for the most part, we're trying to cram it all within like 2 hours, and
Right.
or what have you. But like, bro, it's such an incredible story, and like, I love putting things on basis of comparison, because like, we are competitive, right? And like,
Yeah.
like, bro, like the friendly competition that you breed within the Rumboyz. We've already shouted out some of the names, like the Justins of the Clockworks and of the world, the Fantasy Peacocks of the world, Jay Loves.
Yeah.
Like if you were doing Dynasty Life, like if you had a Dynasty Life league, Jay Love is like one of your greatest value picks. Granted,
Oh yeah.
Granted, he might be older than all of us for all we know, but you know what I mean? Like, Dynasty is all about pinpointing the talent while they're young and being able to grow with them and develop them, you know what I mean? To get them into their prime, you know what I mean? And like, I love that. I admire that. How about this? It's an admirable thing for you to do, huh? You see what I did there?
Oh my God.
You see what I did there? Ah! I legit.
You really did that.
Hey, that's pretty good. Hold on. We gotta get some Jamaican.
Motherfucker.
Hold on, I gotta run that back. So you might say that's an admirable thing of you to do? You feel me? Jamaicans.
This guy.
Hey man, you know what? Hey, you gotta deal with me now, man. You got me on the squad. I'm a monster. You know what I mean? You are helping shape the beast. I am rough around the edges. You know what I mean? Like,
Bro, don't worry. I mean, even honestly, like since we started working with you, man, I've seen your growth, and
definitely
how you're changing the game. We got you to get that Twitter account up now.
I know, right? Like, bro, like transitioning from like spending a lot, I say this with full statute of limitation. You know what I mean? I did my research, but like spending, a large quantity of my life and my youth as a dope dealer, like I treated it like the dope game. And one thing about the dope games is you don't want everyone knowing what you're doing. And this is the opposite in that sense. We're like, we need everyone to know what we're doing. So it's like, and when you present yourself, you need to be presentable in that sense. I'm from a very diverse area, multicultural like shit. And like, I remember you had a question. You were like, it was about how afraid or how worried are we about our teams in the NFL? Like for example, my Niners. You're like, how worried are you about your Niners about somebody hacking y'all shit during the draft? And I was like, I go like this. I go, we got legit. Mind you, this was like maybe an hour and some change in, so I'm faded, right? And I'm like, bro, I'm not worried. I'm from the Silicon Valley. We got legit Chinaman ITs. And then like, you were like, bro, you can't say that. And I was like, and it fucked me up for a second because I was like, oh shit. Because, I got hella Chinese homies. Like I call them Chinamen, but then I started realizing, damn, in America, and more importantly, in this case, in our case, in corporate America, like they will shun that. Like, or even like, imagine the Rumboyz and girls that are Chinese listening. Like that could have, I'm sorry if I offended anyone, but like, and I was just like, damn, like where I'm from, like, like that's just a joke. But then at the same time, that's not a joke. That's not cool. You know what I mean? And it was like, it was one of those little nuances where I was like, oh shit, I'm representing a brand now. I can't just bring, as the Fantasy Peacock calls it, my special brand of antics. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain things that like you know what I mean? I was like, damn, that was really bad. I was like, fuck that. I felt like shit. I was like, fuck. And I was shrooming pretty hard. Where I thought I was being funny, and I was like, oh, that's not good. You know what I mean?
Dude, it was funny. It was
but you know what I mean, though, right?
Survive. Like we have said worse on
but you were still
channel. Like,
you were
bro,
still
I have pissed off PETA.
But you still had the wherewithal. PETA. Oh, really? Why were you?
Yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah, but where were you getting your dog high or something?
So like pretty much like I had made a joke. Like I can't even remember what the fuck the joke
they're not
was.
fucking around, bro.
Like I made a joke about like the Lions like getting beat down and like
and they took a soundbite.
Like, I guess like there was like some fucking animal supporter that was like watching in my chat, and then next thing I know, like I start receiving like fucking hate, man. Like,
Oh my god!
I'm like, yo, like who did we piss off? I was like, so then like the next day, like I came on and I was like, you know what? Fuck them Panthers. Like I started going off. Like,
He was like, fuck that. He was ready to go to war.
yeah, bro, and I always do that is one of my lethal faults. Like is I will go to war behind my brand. Like I have zero problems checking anyone about what I do for a living.
But also though,
zero fucking problems.
But also though, like when you interrupted me and you were like, you can't say that, like immediately there's a switch that you have to have built inside when you're running a business. You know what I mean? Like
Business,
yo, bro, hey, you can't say that. You know what I mean? And like okay, and then we move on. Like you know what I mean? Like oh, you're right. Like you know what I mean? Like there's a greater good. You know what I'm saying? There's like and this maybe that switch is built in you now because of moments like that PETA shit. You know what I mean?
The internet could be a cruel place.
Bro, the internet's undefeated, bro.
Place, bro.
The internet's undefeated, and I don't want to take it on. I just want to roll with it. You know what I mean?
But see, when anyone that's like us or wants to do what we're doing, like you have to accept that.
Yeah, there's gonna be fuck
today's
niggas.
day and age, you are a mini celebrity. So you have to be accessible everywhere. Step one, that is going to be your biggest success. So if you guys want to make plays, how we're making plays, like you need to be accessible. Be on every single social media that you can. That's step one. Step two, accept the fact that your privacy is no longer your privacy. Like accept the fact that this is your life, and people not only just want to know your analytics and so on and so forth, but they want to know you, and they want to know you as a person.
Yeah. Hey, hold on one second. Yeah, love is my girl card. Brev, you're live on the air with the Admiral. Okay. What happened? Okay, nah. Something about the chicken. I mean, you got that, babe. You got to get going. Go on.
But yeah, but yeah, that's just I forgot what I was saying.
Okay, no, I'll bring us back. So, we're talking about like basically the integrity that you learn to keep, even though like you're ready to go to war at any drop of a dime. You know what I mean? And I'll bring it full circle, going back to even the training you had to be a trained killer. You know what I'm saying? Going back to your competition, how you were bred to compete. You know what I'm saying? Like going back to when you was a wee tyke, playing football with all the new addition. You, Ruben,
from
Ricky,
football to
like
karate to Muay Thai.
Yes.
To being involved in MMA. In the military. That's something we didn't bring up.
And then going in through the early stages of corporate Robbie before he became full-on entrepreneur Robbie. You know what I mean? Like, there's many hats, and I love it because, in a nutshell, we were able to, like, paint the timeline to a degree, right? And the story is still going on. I love it. And because now, you could even enter me in the timeline now, Playmakers. Like, now I'm entered into the story where, like, now you're lacing me up. Like, I'm a student of the game, you know what I mean? And like, or even a player on the roster. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like you gave me the opportunity to start even, you know what I mean? And like, coach, I'll tell you this much, man. You gave me the opportunity and I'm running with the rock and Playmakers, you've heard me reference, this is the Bogey original. The genius asks questions. The dumbass sits around and stays quiet, thinks he knows everything. You know what I mean? And like, not only did you give me the opportunity, you also allow me to ask the questions and then lace me with more game because you know what I'm saying? Not only am I an employee, like you want to see me do better. You know what I mean? Like you want everything, you want everyone's brand to grow because ultimately, like I hate it when people when they lose sight of that. Like I can't stand when people don't understand that like there's enough in the whole world for all of us. So it's like if we're all combining our forces, and like it is like Voltron or the Power Rangers, like we're like the Megazord.
I was about to say I built this bitch like Voltron.
Yeah, bro, and or even like you know, like we're damn near the Power Rangers, and like you know when we all form together and we're that Megazord, bro. Like it's some shit. You know what I mean? Because we're like you're able to you allow us to all be individuals, and then you also. It's another art form that is low key an art form that when you have us all together on the Rum Report and we're all drinking and the donos are flying and you know what I'm saying, the dono hype is in full effect, and you know what I'm saying, and we're all having a good time and we're crushing these topics, and you're able to always keep us, you know, well rounded. You're always able to bring us full circle. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because that is that is an art form, like being able to bring together and congregate all these analysts, and we're drinking and like keeping us all at the highest level of professionalism as possible. You know what I mean? Like that's impressive to me. At all the while getting extremely smashed. You know what I mean? You be smashed, bro. And I'm like, I love it.
It's a very hard job, and I appreciate all that all of you guys on the staff do, because that shit is crazy.
Yeah, it is. So okay, we're narrowing down now. We're in the home stretch. So you know, I want you to I want to just pick your brain a little bit about like how you discovered each individual, like, you know what I mean, in the staff right now, as like so let's start with let's go with the writing staff. So we have Connor Burke, correct? He's one of them.
Yeah. So yeah,
we have Connor. We have Miles. We have J Love, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know Jake is also a writer, you know, as well as an analyst, right? But
yep.
Yeah, like. So walk me through how you discovered, you know, Miles and Connor and J Love, because I know that there are three different individuals that you brought together, even, you know what I mean, and now they all work together. As a
and
unit.
we have a few more you know, that are on the site as well. You know, shout out to homie Kevin Smedley.
Okay. Oh yeah, I seen that name. Okay,
you know,
yeah. Shout out to Kevin
Fuji, who writes all of our Oakland Raiders content.
Oh, word. You mean the Las Vegas Raiders?
Oh yeah, Las Vegas.
Yeah, Raiders, I know, right? We gotta get used to that.
But no, for real. Everyone works really hard. I discovered J Love because he discovered our content. He was in the chat, and I was like, bro, I really like your takes. You're really fucking smart.
He be in there fucking it up,
Yeah, at first I was like, I was thinking like, you know, he's like this 21-year-old college, you know, black dude, you know, it's like chill as fuck. And then I find out that like he's a 17-year-old white kid that just really knows his sports and can write his ass off. So I ended up snagging him in his prime.
And low key playmakers. This is another one of those innovating things that the Admiral himself has contributed to the game, because you did this and now we're seeing, like, you know, bigger entities. I want to say bigger, you know, like that. Bigger entities, quote unquote, like BDGE. They're doing this same thing that you've been doing. Now they're trying to find these, you know, and give them college credits and shit. Like, you was already doing that shit.
Yeah. You know,
innovation.
I've been at it. I've been doing it. You know, it's just crazy that we don't always get the credit that we deserve. But you know,
but that's why you're on Playmaker AF, bro. That's what makes you Playmaker as fuck. Shit like that. You know what I mean? Innovations, man.
But no, man. That's how I discovered him. Connor Burke, kind of, you know, similar, the same way, the same thing. And him and Jordan Love, you know, they work together well. They get along. Kevin Smedley, I found him through Twitter.
And he's is he from the Bay Area, or is he just an Oakland fan? Like, I'm just assuming that he was from.
Oh no, Fuji, yeah, he's from the Bay.
Nice.
Fuji, I worked with him at Xfinity, and he actually used to be one of my supervisors.
So he was the nigga in the building talking shit to all the Broncos fans, huh?
Yeah, bro. It's sure cash shit. But yeah, he saw what I was doing, what I was building.
That's
after I left
amazing,
Xfinity, and he saw what I was doing on.
So he has grassroots with you.
Huh?
So he essentially has grassroots with the company because he was there in the early stages, like around it at least.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's awesome.
Much. I mean, but yeah, he was like, "Yo, I'll write for you, dog." Like,
fucking
he's
tight.
like, if we can find a way to get me out of corporate, so yeah. So he came on. I was like, "Don't worry, bro. Like, we'll blow this up." And he's been holding it down. Let's think. I gotta think. Miles, I found him through Twitter. He actually came to me and he was like, "I want to write fantasy content for you." And I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's go."
Fuck yeah. I've been looking for you, bro.
Yeah, I was like, I've been looking for you. I was like, send me. And what I have every writer do first, it's not like, oh, it's easy as hell to become a Rumboyz writer.
No, you're like, write me some shit.
Because I have turned some people down.
Yeah.
Like, I have turned some people straight down. Like, in order to be on our team, you got to send me an audition article. You reach out to me via social media DM. I give you my email address. You then take on the interview process. You'll send me an audition piece. Me and my chief editor, which is now Miles, we will go over it. We will look at it, and as well as J Love, co-chief editor, we will go over it as a staff. We will look at it. If we like it, if there's not too many grammatical errors, so on and so forth, you move forward in the process. So it is a process. You do go through an interview. I have to like you. I have to feel like I can work with you. So yeah,
I love that because writing is another beast. Like I love how they could I've never met Connor yet, but like J Love and the Peacock, like I've read their writings and they translate to how they speak as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're also good on camera too. Like that, like that's a hell of a talent too, low key playmakers, and having an eye for the talent and being able to match it to the content as far as like, because there's some people that are vloggers, there's some people that are bloggers, and you found a combination of both when it comes to one J Love and the Peacock. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm fortunate. I'm blessed. I have a damn good team. Justin, I found him because I featured. He approached me by featuring on his show. When I featured on his show, then he featured on my Rumboyz After Dark.
Nice.
And I was like, bro, I have a feeling we're just gonna keep working together. I'm like, you want to just keep doing this thing? Like, and he was like, yeah, bro. Like,
I love Justin.
To have, your support, your back.
Justin
like,
is.
Yeah, like.
Justin is the joint, man. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if we were all on a line, you know what I mean? Like, and like I'm definitely on the crazier side of the line, right? Justin is definitely like smack dab in the middle, where it's like he has a combination of like, he's witty, but he's also like composed. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like
he get funny as hell.
Yeah.
But when he's on his show doing his thing, you can play that show in front of your kids. My show, probably not.
I know, right? I know, me either.
But yeah, his show, you can definitely play that around your kids and, get your fantasy analysts. Yeah, no, your show, no.
I know, right?
So, I mean, yeah, he does his thing, and on his show, he's a clean cut, fantasy analyst, and then when he turns the fuck up when he is with us.
Yeah, he sure does.
Great.
He sure does. Okay, so okay, now tell me about Rumboyz graphics. Tell me about Brian. Shout out to Brian.
Yeah, that's the most important part. Because he does all the graphics. He's kind of in a way like handles a lot of the marketing.
And Brian,
every time you guys,
if you're listening, the graphics you make, the thumbnails you make are fucking hilarious, bro.
Bro, they are fucking fire.
They are,
and
bro.
Every day he's evolving, and every day he's stepping his game up, and he's always trying something new and coming with some new shit. I absolutely love it. but yeah, I mean, he handles all the marketing. He's what keeps the company relevant and keeps the company looking good. He does all of the all the merch. He designs all of the merch. So every design that you see on Rumboyz.com when you guys go,
yep,
you're
and that's
shopping around for
that's
sure.
Rumboyz with a Z.com for all that drippy swag. Yeah, go on.
Hell yeah. He designs all the drip, all the clothes. That's also where you guys check out all the writers too.
Yes,
but
that's where you're gonna. That check us out, Playmakers. That's where and we're steady gonna have all the links in the description of this episode for all you guys to have access to all these articles we're talking about. You know what I mean? Like we do a fantasy show, like we said. You know what I mean? And we just want to help you guys win and help you guys compete because that's a high that we get from helping you guys. You know what I mean? Like. You guys are giving us a special kind of high. Like Gemmo the Icon, he loves to tell people that he's a back-to-back champ because he discovered the Rumboyz. You know what I mean? And like
that's another one that I found. That's another hidden gem. I found Gemmo. Gemmo found me through Twitter via Stepmom Lauren, big player in the fantasy football industry. She's a writer for the fantasy footballers. That's like my fantasy football sister
was she
right
the one
there.
was she on with you guys on that last live? Was that her?
She's been on with us before.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I'm talking about with Gemmo. Was that her? Or was that a different lady?
No, that was someone else. That was one of someone that Gemmo worked with.
Okay, yeah, go on.
He found me through her because she was like, y'all need to check out the Rumboyz. Like, they will help you win. She was like, I'm good. Like, they're damn good. And then, from there, a writer that works for the fantasy footballers referring, her audience.
Yeah, bro, because she's low-key one of the unsung goats out here. And
she is
a female in a male-dominant industry. Like, yeah, Matt, shout out to Stepmom. You know what I mean?
Yo, she's a huge playmaker.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so he came through and like I ended up helping him win his fantasy championship with the pick of Steve Sims, Jr. from the Redskins. He won his Week 16 championship.
Oh shit, Sims balled. You talking about the game against the Giants?
Yeah.
Bro, Sims balled out. Who's the other kid you guys got? Hardman or Harmon?
Yeah, Terry McLaurin.
No.
We have Harmon.
Harmon,
yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, Harmon. Yeah, low-key, Harmon's legit. Everyone knows about Terry McLaurin, the Scottish lad. But I'm talking about Harmon is low-key, so is Sims. Like, those are gems in Week 16 where, like, Playmakers, when you're in week 16, it's hard to just be like, okay, I'm going to put in this guy Sims that I've never fucked with all year. You know what I mean? Like, that's one of those things. Like, and like, when you hit for somebody, that is one of the greatest highs, bro. Like,
oh my gosh, bro, it felt so fucking good.
Because it is also equally.
He was like, tell me what you want, whatever you want. He's like, I'm sending you freaking Louis Mata's pizza.
Yeah, he told me he did. He sent you some deep dishes straight from Chicago.
And like since then, he has my address saved, and like I'll just get like packages. Like he sent me a fucking quarantine care package. He sent me Yingling beer. He just sends me shit.
That's fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Gemmo the Icon, low key. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually gonna go on his show this Saturday, which I'm excited, right? But like low key, like like when I watch his show, he's just peeling back layers of himself. Like I didn't know he was in independent film. I didn't know he was in a rock band, several rock bands. I didn't know there's so many different layers. Like I love it, bro. Like you have a cast of individuals that are like, aside from the great fantasy analysis that we all delivered, like the characters alone, like, I mean, if I wanted boring analysis, no offense, but I'll tune into Matthew Berry, right? Like, no offense, But like, I really don't think if I was to talk to Matthew Berry, I think the only thing I'd be able to relate to him is like eating food and like fantasy football. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I would be able to identify with him. You know what I mean? And like, that's what the cast of individuals you have gathered together. Like, you know, we have appeal. We have appeal. We have insight. We have, you know, intellect. We're racy. You know what I mean? And that goes back to the whole innovation hat that I introduced you with. Like, you're an innovator in that sense. You know what I mean?
You gotta be because the market. If you don't play the market's gonna play you. You know, so you gotta be innovative. You gotta be creative.
If you don't play the market, playmakers, the market will play you. Oh my God, that's a key. Jamaicans. Okay, go on.
Major key. You know, so I mean, no, like, you know, so you gotta be you know, new and willing to change. You gotta be aggressive in that sense.
Yeah.
You know, and you gotta market. You gotta market. That's another reason why you have to be everywhere, and you have to accept the fact that you're kind of a mini celebrity. You're becoming that. You have to
expose yourself.
Yeah, you have to. You know, because people want content and people want access to you. You know.
And if you're not accessible, you're not winning in this business.
Exactly. 100%.
Yeah. I'm learning that firsthand. Like, you know, and I kind of foreshadowed that earlier where it was like, you know, I have to be able to evolve out of my old ways where it was like, listen, this isn't the dope. I was looking at myself in the mirror. I'm like, this isn't the dope game no more. This is a brand new ball game. Like, you know what I mean? There's things I have to change about myself. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I used to pride myself on being out in the open. And then, you know, like right under their nose, but they never seen me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I used to, you know, that's where I came up. That's how I even became scot-free. Even, you know what I mean? Like, I was Bogard because I'm Bogarting the world, and then like I'm scot-free because I got away with, you know, things in life, but also more importantly, got away with who I used to be. You know what I mean? Like, because I am a man who's open to evolution, because this is Darwin's theory right here. It's survival of the fittest. You know what I mean? Like,
big facts.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I got one more on the list, and then, you know what I'm saying, and then you know, we'll take this thing down. All right, because we have been cruising at a smooth altitude, playmakers. This is one hell of an episode. Like, I can't wait till you guys get a load of this. And now I'm speaking in past tense or present tense. I don't know. I'm confused myself. Because I know
it's all love. Right? It's all love.
But so Jake, man, how did you discover Jake? Because Jake is a real intricate part.
Jake came in the chat during some breaking news. I was reporting on AB's antics. Antonio Brown. He came in the chat. He found us when I reported a piece, and like I had like went live like at like fucking like 10 at night, like mountain time, like this time, like mountain time, like I went live, like.
So for him, it was like midnight.
You know, like, and like I'm breaking down the news to people, and then next thing I know, like Jake, he was in the chat, and once again, I mean, the dude that had fire takes, and I was like,
yeah,
I didn't get that dude on my staff. And then like he kept coming around the chat, like. You know, I thought for a second, I was like, okay, you know, maybe he's just one of those people that discovered us because it's a breaking news piece. Like when you drop breaking news, you know, you go live on YouTube, like you're one of the first people to get access to it. Like YouTube algorithm just forces people to your feed, you know. And
that's a key for all you.
Like I thought he was just gonna be in that one chat, but like he was only there for that content. But he kept coming around for the content. And just dropping fire takes, and then eventually, you know, one day I posted my you know, ad, you know, for writers, and then he was like,
all right,
I'll do it.
He was like, all right, bro.
Yeah, he's like, I'll write all of your boxing UFC content. I was like, bet, run it. Oh. I need you.
I love. So check this out, playmakers. If you want all those characters that he just listed, and you know all the cast members that he is describing, the one common denominator is that it all happened organically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean?
Nothing was forced. Nothing was ever forced.
Yeah. Okay. So now, selfishly, how did you discover one Bogard scot-free?
So Instagram, actually,
Right.
you had followed me.
Yep, I started following y'all.
And
I was like, and I'll tell you this much: you definitely live on Twitter more. You know, you are current with your IG. It's not like you just have it to have it, right? So, but I say this to say because I would like a little bit of images and stuff you would post, and then those images would make me tune in. I would click the link, and then I wasn't even in the chat at all. Like I wasn't one of those type of guys. So when you reached out to me, bro. Okay, now I'll let you tell it.
Yeah. So Instagram. I think you found me from like Smitty from the Fantasy Football Show.
Yeah.
Or not, yeah. And then you started following me. I clicked on your page. I saw that you were on with the Fantasy Football Rapper. I listened to that show. I was really fucking disappointed that he didn't rap. And then I found out that actually, you did music.
Yeah, because remember I asked him. Remember I asked him on the episode. I go, so bro, do you rap? I'm like, because I rap. Like, so you're the fantasy rapper. And he didn't get it. He's like, what do you mean? And I was like, do you rap? Like, you're the fantasy rapper. Like, do you be busting? Like, you got bars? And he was like,
bro, I was so let down. I was so
he
let
was
down.
like,
I was like, bro.
No, he was like, I rap. Like, like fantasy rap. And I was thinking, like, so what, do you be like, start him, sit him, get in. Like, I thought he was going to rap some shit. Like, it's like, no. I was let down, too. I was let down, too.
Yeah, so I tuned into that joint, and then I was like I listened to the whole episode, and it was your personality that kept me listening, So I was like, yo, let me message dude. Like, I hit you up on DM. I was like, yo, if you ever need someone like come on your show or you want to come on mine, like I'm completely down with that shit.
Bro, I was so with it too because I had already been tuning in, and shout out to Mrs. Scott Free, right? Because she's also one of my scouts. Where it's like, I was like, baby, this dude, he just DM'd me. Check this is the one I was telling you about. And I shot her a link, and she goes like this. She goes, he hella reminds me of someone you already kick it with. You know what I mean? Like, and and that's like behind every good man's a good woman. So it's like because and she was like, yeah, because she pointed out, she's like, you've been reaching out to everyone. He reached out to you, like, you know what I mean? Like, and she even said this too. She goes, this is what you were looking for. You know what I mean? You were looking to network and with people that you fuck with, because shout out to Smitty and shout out to Fantasy Rapper and like shout out to TCK Pod and like all those guys, but like those guys, they're all great at what they do, but like I don't necessarily agree with them on a daily. Like, I don't think they identified with me. I think it was more like them trying to promote, you know what I mean? Like, and no offense to that. Like, I get that. I love that. You know what I mean? It is about we are the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. I am the GMM Network. Like, network is the key word. So, like, we are networking. But then it was like, you guys were home to me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And I know it. And Playmakers, check this out. Like, I've only been official with them for about 2 months now. Like, that was one of my proudest, stories to share. When you had dropped the story and it was like, it's a party. It was like new signing, the GMM Network, Bogard Scott Free, and I was just like, whoa, pop champagne, baby. Like, I'm with the Rumboyz now. Like, it was just one of those things to me. Like, bro, I was so happy because now it was like, I'm ready to work even more. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm ready to work. This ain't, we ain't even like, we ain't even won the championship yet. You know what I mean? This ain't the shit, but I was popping the champagne anyway, where it was like, I'm ready to get to this work now. You know what I mean? Like,
because it is work now. You know, it is work. You know, that work is in our goddamn titles. You know, so we gotta be out there. We gotta be with the people. We gotta be promoted. We gotta be marketing. We gotta be better than everyone else. We gotta have fire takes. And we gotta be innovative and creative. You know.
Oh, what was that? That was a bar right there. That was a bar. He said we got to be innovative and creative. Like, look, he doesn't even realize he's doing it when he's doing it.
Exactly, slight bars, baby, slight bars.
Bars, dude. Hey, okay, real quick, what's your rap? When you know, like, I know you got a rap name. What was your rap name?
It's always been Robbie J.
Okay, yeah, Robbie J. Yeah. Okay, I like that. I fuck with it. No, okay, but so now that you have this collective of these eccentric individuals, these different walks of life, and it is divide and conquer. We are from everywhere. We got Jake from Ohio. We got Miles from Texas. We got J Love, who's also he's also a Chicago native, correct? Right, but he's out there in North Carolina. You know, and I know these things by just talking to these individuals, like. You know what I mean? Like you actually gave me the opportunity to meet the coworkers. You know what I mean? And then you got Justin who derives from Cali but grew up in Seattle. My fellow Niner faithful, bang bang, right? And then you got, you know, then you even got your Kevin, right? That you were saying, right? He's one of the OGs. You got Brian. Where's Brian from? Pennsylvania. Is he a Steelers fan?
No, he's a Lions fan. I think he's originally from Detroit. I think he's originally from Detroit. So yeah, I think he just lives in Pennsylvania. I'm not even sure, man. He's a mystery.
And then we got Robbie, he's basically from just the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, shout out to the DMV. I'm from the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, but you know, LA my second home. What's good?
Yeah, bro. Like, man, I can't express enough how exciting the endeavor and the adventure that we have, ahead of us. So, you know, and with that said, so before we are going to close this thing out, so just let the Playmakers and all the Rumboyz and girls around the world, let them know what the Rumboyz Fantasy Network has in store. Like, you know, I am going to post this one immediately, so the draft. You know, everybody tune in to the Rumboyz Fantasy Network for round the clock draft coverage, you know, NFL draft coverage. But well, what else do you have in store for us? You know, what I mean, I know you're an innovator. You know what I mean? I know you also work on the fly. But is there some things that you have cooking in the works?
Yeah, you know, now, like I said, I mean, it's a time that we really get busy, we really get to it. So of course this is draft weekend, so make sure you guys tune in. You know, sportscast.com. You can download the Sportscast app on all Apple products. Check us out on YouTube. Of course, subscribe on YouTube. We'll be live on Twitter for the draft. But yeah, you know, subscribe to the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Check us out, rumboyz.com. Draft weekend this weekend. We're gonna start breaking down once we know where all these rookies go. We're gonna start getting into promoting our leagues. We're gonna have, you know, a Rumboyz versus the fans.
We're gonna start doing some actual drafts now.
What up?
We're gonna start doing some like actual drafts coming soon here too, like for actual leagues. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh
so,
yeah.
You know, we're gonna be announcing our leagues. We're gonna be giving away some spots in our leagues. We're gonna be having a Rumboyz versus other podcasters, other analysts league. So, you know, we're gonna take on about 6 different podcasts, our staff versus a couple other folks. And yeah, I mean, you know, so yeah, make sure you guys tune in.
Yeah, make sure y'all subscribe. Hit that notification bell, because, you know, at any given moment, if breaking news happens, he's gonna chime in. So you guys need to hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you definitely don't want to miss a thing. We do breaking news. You know, yesterday I covered that Gronk story. I was on that thing. You know, so yeah, we do breaking news. I've interviewed, you know, multiple players. You guys can check out all the players I've interviewed. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Rumboyz spelled a Z-N-E-T. You can listen to us also on Anchor, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all the things we out there.
Yep, Spotify, all the shit.
Yep, Spotify,
Yep. Are you guys on Stitcher as well?
Yeah, we're on Stitcher.
Okay,
we're
nice. Yeah, shout out Stitcher. Yeah. Hey, Robbie J, it was such an admirable thing for you to do to join. I know, right? That one didn't really have the effect as the first one on. The first one was that was great timing, and it was organic, right? But yes,
very organic.
Admiral Robbie J, I just want to tell you, I'm glad to load the cannons and go to war with you, land or sea. You know what I mean? Surf and turf, bro. I'm proud to be a part of this. I'm glad I was able to, to paint the timeline. You know what I mean? We have a long way to go, but when we get to where we're going, me and you will be able to have that conversation and say we came so far, and we'll be able to look back on this episode and and have some laughs, man. And
hey, it's still so much further to go.
Yeah, bro. Like this is only the beginning, Playmakers. Like, and if you guys are tuning in and you're a part of this on the grassroots, you guys are family too. You know what I'm saying? And don't be afraid to share this content with everybody. This is that good dope. Everybody needs to be on this shit right here. This is the good this is the good epidemic. You know what I mean? Fuck a pandemic. This right here that we have, it's that ism. It's that good dope. We want to bring highs to your life. We want to bring highlights. We want to be there. We want to be there to help you guys at your low points too, because we are human. We will have highs and lows, and you will. And when it comes to the fantasy shit too, we're gonna be wrong at times, but we're gonna be able to be there to feel your pain when you're going through it in a fantasy loss. And we're also going to be there with you to just be like, we're happy for y'all when y'all get that fantasy title or when y'all get that fantasy success from the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Whatever sport it is that you're fucking with, whether it's combat sports, whether it's fantasy football, or even if it's just, keeping you updated and being your source for all things news, sports related, pop culture, everything all in one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Robbie J, it was a pleasure and an honor. This has been episode 10 of Playmaker as fuck. And my man Admiral Robbie is as such. I want y'all to all take note that this thing never happens overnight. This is a work in progress, and we are always on the grind. We are always on the up and up, and we are on the way, B.
Ready.
We're on the way. We ready. Jamaicans. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you so much.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me.
This was low-key hella epic, man. I even for me personally, like I was able to just get to know you more in that sense, and I know we talk all the time, but man, this was great for the Playmakers, man, and the Rumboyz and girls.
Hell yeah, it was.
Yeah, man.
Epic indeed.
For sure, my brother. Well, I'll you know what I mean. I'm gonna be staying tuned already. You know what I mean. Hit me with the next agenda, and then we'll definitely reconvene. It's essentially the Super Bowl of the Rumboyz Fantasy Network in that sense, because it is the draft. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're going to work.
Hell yeah, brother. I'll holla, man. Peace.
For sure. Peace.